Okay, I'm live. And this is weird. Okay. I use StreamYard. And something's very strange right now. So they have, first of all, I'm not seeing y'all's chats. I'm seeing them in StreamYard, but I'm not seeing them on my laptop. Maybe they were done by phone? I really don't know. So this is like, I hope I don't miss chats. Is there anybody on, I don't get it. I really don't. I'm having tech stuff lately, guys. Tech stuff. Last night it was the game. Now it's I see your messages, Louis, and I see Nilf's message when I'm on StreamYard. But when I'm on YouTube, I see nothing. Let me look at my phone. Maybe that's the issue. Let me look at my phone. That could be it. But why wouldn't it show on both? I don't get it. Hang on. Let me figure this out. Anyway, there's been a lot of vegan gays videos that have come out. Some of them are long. Some of them, let's see. So if I go on my phone, no, I don't see the messages. Where are they? What's going on? Very, very weird. I see them on StreamYard. Do y'all see your own messages? Do you see your own messages? And why? Hang on. Oh, wait. Okay, now I see them. There's two. Oh, okay. I get it, guys. Here's the deal. Because of this new formatting from StreamYard, where you can simultaneously do landscape and horizontal, now there's two streams at once, which is weird, good. I don't know. Who knows? That's going to make it very difficult to catch all the messages, though. Anyway, such is my life. Such is the problems of my life. Guys, I'm cheating because I had a to-go coffee here. And I poured it into my Vegan Gays mug because we're doing Vegan Gays today. All right. 2 notifications. Yeah, so there's 2 streams. That's going to make things real complicated. Maybe it'll reach more people. Who knows? Whatever. Let's look at how JD Vance is a moron.
No electrocution. No electrocution of dogs here.
How disgusting is that? What does that tell you about a person?
Well, I think it tells you that they're not that they're bad people.
Yes.
If you can actually cause suffering to an innocent animal, you're probably the kind of person who doesn't worry about suffering in people as well. You can tell if somebody's really mean to animals. You know, it's like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing.
Yeah.
Like every serial killer ever has actually been really bad to animals. I just had no idea like what vegetarians ate, right? I'm like a meat and potatoes guy.
Yes.
If you can actually cause suffering to an innocent animal, you're probably the kind of person who doesn't worry about suffering in people as well. And that was my vegetarian pizza that I made.
Wow. Did you even follow a recipe?
No.
You just like decided
I'm just like,
just
well,
free
you know,
will?
it's like cream. I know she ate, you know, dairy. You can tell if somebody's really mean to animals. You know, it's like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing.
Yeah.
Like every serial killer ever has actually been really bad to animals. Vegetarian food can actually be quite good.
Yes.
I don't, you know, I still like, I'm kind of one of these people where if I don't have a piece of meat, it's not a complete meal. They're bad people.
Yes.
You can actually cause suffering to an innocent animal, you're probably the kind of person who doesn't worry about suffering in people as well.
Well, we just actually heard a 911 call from a citizen in Springfield earlier today that some of the immigrants in Springfield were capturing geese at the local pond, slaughtering them and killing them. Well, I mean, look, I don't know what are the full spate of animals that are being consumed there in Springfield, but I know that.
Let's talk about Christy Nome shooting her dog in the face. In the face. Christy Nome. Just quick question there, JD. Is Christy Nome in the Trump administration along with you? Have you called out Christy Nome for her animal cruelty? Have you looked at yourself? I don't think you have. What's up, Neil? Nice to see you. 2 notification. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm looking at the old stuff. Rich man. I wish this was rich man problems. I am not a rich man. In fact, I had a notification from YouTube today that somehow I still have not reached my $100 threshold to get paid by YouTube. Even though people have given me super chats on this channel, I have to wait until I reach $100 to get paid out by YouTube, which is weird. I also just don't understand how I'm apparently still not there. Still not there. I think it's on a delay or something because I thought I was there, but I'm not. So any super chats would be much appreciated. Will help me get to that $100 threshold. Yeah, make me a rich man. That'd be great.
Geese are certainly among them.
I'm kind of one of these people where if I don't have a piece of meat, it's not a complete meal.
How disgusting is that?
Let's just look at the JD Vance one first, okay? I mean, this guy is a fucking...
He's something.
Just won't even go there. But...
He has this command place, which is basically if I snap my finger and point, he will run to that place and lay down.
You don't have to zap him.
No. Not
Hassan.
like Hassan Piker. No.
Wasn't that disgusting?
No electrocution of dogs here.
How disgusting.
Do you pay for animals to be electrocuted to death so you can eat them in a sandwich? I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't like veganism.
Yeah, he should. I wonder if he's ever seen the chickens getting their heads dunked in electric water so that they can have their throats slit while stunned. JD Vance. God, the hypocrisy on these people.
You're fine with systems that electrocute animals. In fact, that's seen as a humane method of dispatching them. Oh, but okay.
Is that? What does that tell you about a person?
Well, I think it tells you that they're not that they're bad people.
Yes.
If you can actually
Bat people.
Actually, I won't even claim this to be a bad action. I'll go as far as to say you're a bad person.
Oh, I thought he said bat people. Like, I was wondering what that even means. Hang on.
I think it tells you that they're not that they're bad people.
Yeah.
You can
Okay, so I don't know why I heard that wrong. Is the video choppy?
Actually, I won't even claim this to be a bad action. I'll go as
Having
far as to
issues.
say you're a bad person. For your entire personhood to be put into question and put in the bad category. Oh, you must be doing something very naughty there, indeed.
They cause suffering to an innocent animal.
Ooh, not even just to dogs.
By the way, I see that Neil is commenting on the vertical stream. Louis commenting on the horizontal stream. I have an indicator. Okay, I'm learning. There's a little right next to Neil's name. There's a vertical thing. So you guys aren't seeing each other's messages because you're on different streams. So I don't know. Maybe the vertical stream is choppy. Can we figure out technology already? My God, people.
Not even
I don't mean
just
y'all. I mean the fucking billionaires who do all this shit.
an innocent animal
that they're bad people.
Yes.
If you can actually cause suffering to an innocent animal, you're probably the kind of person who doesn't worry about suffering in people as well.
So, like, what's
By the way, I realize that we're reacting to reactions, but I'm a vegan gays fan, so what can you do? My hands are tied.
Population of vegans in the US, isn't it like 1 to 2%?
Oh, really?
But 98% of people, all right? Bad people.
Honest doubter. What? Don't do me like that, Nilf. Don't do me like that. 2 streams, honest doubter, because there's a new feature now on StreamYard where as soon as I logged in, it said, StreamYard's going to Mars, which is, I think they said, multiple aspect ratio streaming, which means, I guess, this new thing where they'll simultaneously stream to the vertical view and the horizontal view, which makes it two different streams. Hopefully it works out well. I have no idea. Oh, Tess, you've never seen Vegan Gays, huh? Okay. There's a new channel to... Let me go ahead and put her in the... Yeah, I think it does. Honest doubter does. Look, it just did my message twice. I can't with this. I think I'm seeing them all though. But yeah, some people are not. I don't know. Whatever.
Bad people. I'm sorry. Okay, it's even actually worse. Okay, because if you are a bad person for hypothetically shocking a dog with a shock collar, or what does that tell you about paying for animals to be exploited and premeditating their killing? And if you're going to go, oh, well, I didn't do it, I paid for someone to do it. What if, hypothetically, Hassan paid someone to shock the dog? Still naughty, right?
Very naughty.
Oh, fuck. This is cringe. Well, I wouldn't expect consistency from this guy, but anyway.
Oh, yeah. And that's been my experience. If you mistreat dogs, that's almost...
I mean... It doesn't get much more cringe than JD Vance. I can't... If there are fans of JD Vance out there, let me know. Because I don't even think his like Trump supporters like the guy. He's very wooden and fake. And it's weird that he wears eyeliner. And everything about the guy is just politician. Such a politician.
100% sign that you're going to be a really terrible person. So it's one of the ways we really sort of test people.
Yeah, you know what we really test people with? We can test them with veganism, okay? Because if you're not vegan, you're paying for worse things to happen to animals. Maybe you even do them yourself. And yeah, that does tell you a lot about a person.
Very nice, vegan gays. Very nice. Okay. Hang on. Vegan gays. Let's bring it back. Bring it back. So there's Vegan Gays' channel. There's all these videos to respond to. It's showing me as having watched that one, but I haven't. Maybe I fell asleep and it played or something. Does loner bot? So all these people that I don't know, I feel like I've seen this guy before because he talked about vegans. Here's, I think that's him, Omni King. Does loner bot? So all this is sort of about Hassan. That's led to all this weird bullshit on people's channels where they're like, oh, The animal cruelty. All these people who partake in animal cruelty. Shocking dog equals bad. Killing them equals fine. So I don't know who that is. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one a little bit, and then maybe that one. And then we'll do some AR history. But as you can see why I called this, L is calling out everybody. Look at this. No one is safe. No one is safe. I also saw that well-known plant-based athlete Novak Djokovic was on Piers Morgan. I wonder if they got into plant-based. I don't know. That could be interesting, but they might just talk about like the vaccine and shit, which would probably nuke this stream. All right, let's take a look at this one here.
Omni King, I am an annoying vegan activist, and you will not be able to stand me. You will not like me. So I'm a perfect candidate for a debate. Let's do it. You may recognize this guy. We're going to be looking at
Poor people if you recognize this guy.
a video from him. He's called the Omni King, but he's also known
Delusional
as...
vegans are getting dumped for their toxic beliefs. I don't know. You know, if you get dumped by somebody because you're a vegan, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. Typically, it's the other way around. So, in my experience of dating, which is not like, you know, all encompassing or anything, the women that I've dated have gone vegan very quickly. And if they didn't, I dumped them. Now, people have ended, you know, correspondence with me, I suspect, over me being an animal rights guy before we started dating. I don't know. It could be other reasons. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's really the other way around. I think meat eaters are getting dumped for their toxic beliefs by vegans. But again, if you're a vegan who's gotten dumped because you're vegan, blessing in disguise.
the Curl King. You may know the Curl King as more of a name that you recognize because he has debated a vegan before. He debated Vegan Gains. I haven't taken full notes of what was said in that debate, but I remember the feeling I had, and it was not good. I remember a bullet bite, not good.
Did they?
And it seems as though he's made a channel called the Omni King. And actually, if I open a link in new tab, so as you can see, there's like burgers. I'm imagining they're supposed to be non-vegan burgers, non-vegan cheese, non-vegan bacon. And he is just dedicated to, well, in his own words, I make content about a...
Really? Wow. His whole thing. I make content about, I'm learning. I thought maybe this guy had some kind of channel where he just every now and then talked about veganism because he gets all triggered. But no, he's so triggered that he made a whole channel devoted to it. That's a good, that is a candidate right there for David Rams's Rammy Awards Meat Flake of the Year. Let's see if he lives up to it. I know we've had some esteemed meat flakes in the past. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Piers Morgan. I mean, he's got his work cut out for him, but let's see how he does.
Annoying vegan activist that we all can't stand. Now, I'm hoping he and I will have a debate then, because I'm an annoying vegan activist and a lot of people can't stand me. And it's kind of disproportionate because not a lot of people know me. So actually, we should have a field day debating. And you make a lot of claims
Game suggestion?
that you seem very confident of. So I'm really hoping, Omni King, that
Okay.
if you...
I see your message on a Stouter First Cut Samurai Duel. Really great side scroller. $8 on Steam. Recommend for gaming stream. I don't play on Steam. I play on PlayStation, but I will look it up. I'll see if it's there. First Cut. Hang on. Samurai Duel. I do have some samurai side scroller game that looks really cool, and I played it once. I should play it. Yeah. Piers is a ridiculous man, just concentrating on money. Yeah, he's a buffoon. He's made a career out of buffoonery.
You see this, and I'm imagining you might, because I'll put a little comment in your community tab. I'll let you know. I'll tag you. And hopefully we can set up a debate.
We'll speed it up just a bit. Playback speed, 1 point. Let's do 1.5. See if we can do that.
But we're going to look through the debate that he did have.
I don't like it. 1.25. Playback speed, 1.2. I can't stand when people sound... It's not respectful of them.
Check if he still signs off on it. I'm going to look at a couple of videos beforehand to get a grasp of what the sort of things he's saying are to this day. So we're going to start with this one. This is called Delusional Vegans Are Getting Dumped for Their Toxic Beliefs.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's been a minute since I've done a video like this on this channel, but I came across these two stories on the vegan subreddit, and I couldn't help myself. Could not help myself. They just absolutely piqued my curiosity. And boy,
first of all, like, show us on the doll where the vegan touched you, Omni King. What happened? What happened? Did you get dumped by a vegan? Is that what this is about? Did you go out with a vegan woman? She was bad as fuck and she dumped you? Because that seems to be what's going on here, in my opinion, with zero facts.
I'm not disappointed, and neither will you. You will not be disappointed either. You know, you guys watch my videos and I talk about activists and these people who, you know, show up and shake their tail feathers and make a big ruckus about animal exploitation and all of that. But what's silently going on in the background as well are these Reddit vegans who get together to share their ideas and talk shit about people they don't like, people who eat meat. And they make a whole ruckus.
Yo, Mel and Steve, what's up? I'm just going to guess that's you, Mel. Nice to see you. Mel is on the vertical stream. Other people are on the horizontal stream. We've got a whole complicated mess right now, Mel, where there's two streams simultaneously. I guess it's an experiment. I don't know. Nice to see you.
Hoopla about people who don't see the world the same way as they do.
Well, you shouldn't have a problem with that, because I've looked at your content and that is precisely what you do. So do you have an issue with that? Is that a problem?
And the vegan subreddit is the single best place to see the highest concentration of self-righteous moral narcissists on the planet. Just straight up. You go there and you're going to immediately see it. It won't even take more than 2 seconds. I promise you. But boy, howdy do they make for some juicy, entertaining fucking stories. And that's what I'm here to show you today. That's what I'm here to treat you to today. All right? You ready for this? Let's get into it. Non-vegan vet students pissed.
By the way, guys, I am so anti-vegan that I know what y'all are thinking right now. Jeremy's reacting to vegan gays reacting to this guy. And I know that is a bit of a mind fuck or annoying. But I'm not giving this guy a view. He can go fuck himself. So I will give vegan gays my view, and we'll learn about this stupid fuck from vegan gays.
Me off. Boy, we are off to a fantastic start with this one.
Oh, we are.
We're like 5-0 in the first inning. Okay, like this is a big deal right here. First off, I just want to make this comment that the vast majority of veterinarians, vet students, etc., aren't vegan. Sorry for the newsflash, big dog. I know you expected to see vegans like all the.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Oh,
wow. No way.
What's up, Steve? Ah, nice to see you, Steve. and Steve in. Steve and Steve in. We got Mel, Steve, Steven, and Jeremy, and Tess, and Honest Doubter, and Louise, and Neil, and Louie, and Nilf. That's who's announced themselves so far. If I miss anybody, I apologize.
This guy's given some peak new information. Yeah.
Over the place. Well, they care about animals. The truth is, the vast majority of people who actually care for and take care of animals are not vegan because they also understand the most important thing of all when it comes to animal agriculture is our dependency on animals to thrive as a
No, it's just that they don't think about it because they are hypocrites, and this is hidden from them just as well as it's hidden from everybody else. Most of them didn't get so triggered that they made a YouTube page dedicated to hating on vegans, though. There is that.
species on this planet.
Evidence? Sorry, we depend. This is what I mean. Yeah, that's an empirical claim to claim that we depend on them for thriving. That's an empirical claim. So I will be very interested if you take me up on the offer of the debate for you to provide the empirical evidence.
Hey, Steve, if you're still there, I hit the gym the other day, so I am going to make sure I eat my edamame and get my protein. My arms are all sore, so my goal is to look like you in 2 months. So let's see if I can get there. Steven's pretty ripped too, by the way. Steven is ripped. I will, if I can look like Steve or Steven, I'll be happy. I can't just grow hair, unfortunately. I can't have the beautiful locks like Steven does.
So we rely on them. And yeah, no shit. Like, people claim to care about a given group, given individual, and then they do things that aren't in accordance with that behavior. That's because people can go through something called cognitive dissonance. It's quite widely understood that you can believe something and then not act in accordance with it. It's kind of like one of the things that vegans try and get people to understand. It's kind of why a lot of vegans are vegan now, and they regret not realizing sooner, because it was so obvious that if you have patients who you look after and want to consider their well-being, if you're going to put them in a sandwich, like, bit weird, isn't it? It just reminds me of the time the firefighters were called out to help these pigs who were burning in a farm, and then they were rewarded later with sausages from those pigs.
And they understand that, but they also still want these animals.
Were rewarded later with sausages.
Oh my God. And the BBC News here. Some firefighters save a group of piglets from a barn fire and are later rewarded with a gift of sausages made from the animals. It was a story that provoked strong emotion, from discomfort through to disgust and exasperation. But what does this bizarre tale tell us about our attitudes to the consumption of meat? Peter Sanchez Iglesias, who was last week named the UK's best chef in the Good Food Guide 2018, believes that people being confronted with the reality of where their meat comes from can be challenging. I guess it did sound a bit weird for the firemen to eat the piglets, but then this is life. This is what happens. Slaughtering of farm animals happens, says the Michelin-starred chef. It's a case of out of sight, out of mind. If people don't see the pigs, they don't mind eating them. But if they see a piglet that reminds them of Babe, then there's a chance they will change their mind. I just read about Babe today because, what's his name? Who's the guy? Damn it. The celebrity from Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum, who starred in Wicked with famous vegan Ariana Grande and her co-star, who I don't recall her name, both vegans. And I guess the guy who made Wicked, maybe vegan as well, like the director, said that they talked, and now Jeff Goldblum doesn't eat meat anymore. And he said on somebody's talk show, he was like, we should make this world work for everyone. Pretty strong statement. I don't think he's completely vegan. So, Jeff, come on now. But step in the right direction, I guess. But then they were, in this article I read about it, they were talking about the star of Babe, who went vegan. because of starring in Babe. God, why am I blanking on his name now? It's B12 or some shit, you know? Help me out, guys. Help me out. It's incomprehensible that I'm forgetting his name because he's a prominent vegan activist at this point.
From those pigs.
And they understand that, but they also still want these animals to have
Vegan
the best
gays
possible
is
lives
here.
that they can and to actually
Hey,
help.
vegan gays. Hey, L, if you want to jump on my stream, let me know, because then that will blow people's mind, because then I'll be reacting to your reaction with you. It's like L and Jeremy react to L reacting to Omni King, and then people will just be like, what is happening? And maybe we can set a record for the most confusing live stream that's ever happened. So let me know if you want to do that. I'll send you a link. Never done bedtime. Okay. Well, sometime we should do a live stream together, Al. That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I didn't realize, El, that this guy had devoted an entire channel to hating on vegans. And that is quite impressive. Quite impressive. He's really gunning for that meat flake of the year. He's going for it. Vegan gays could go live. React to Jeremy reacting to... Yes. Vegan gays. El, you should go live just like right before bed and say, I'm reacting to... Yeah, he should. That'd be funny.
Have an impact on them. So that's why they become better.
Before they're killed or something? If you want someone to have a really good life, but then you're going to pay for them to have their life ended and be exploited, that doesn't compute.
I got it.
This is not making sense at all. Yeah.
Veterinarians, not to make the world vegan like you, for some reason, thought they did. Anyway, let's get into the story. Writing this as a vegan vet student, and though you would...
You don't have to want to make the world vegan to go vegan. What? Oh my God. Oh no.
Think otherwise. No, there's actually little to no vegans in my year group. Can't speak for the entire course because I don't know. And a handful of vegetarians. The other day, I went out for a birthday meal for my friend. There was about 11 of us in total, and the large majority of us were vet students. Obviously, I'm the only vegan there and ordered a vegan-friendly meal. The others ordered some mixed grill platter. I don't know what it was, nor do I care. It was a mix of chicken and possibly beef, and another one ordered an entire fucking leg of lamb to the table. Bruh. Anyway, we're talking about our course and how in the later years we'd have to do a required placement rotation in an abattoir. An example, slaughterhouse. Vets regulate what goes on in there. Without vets, there would essentially be no meat or dairy industry. And all of them were saying how they...
God, this guy needs an education on the meat industry. Wow, that comment just blew my mind. It just blew my mind how he probably actually believes the bullshit that he just said. So yes, there are veterinarians who like show up to a slaughterhouse every now and then and check a few boxes and leave. And I guess in some cases there are ones that stand there. Man, I just okay. I'm gonna let Elle speak for me on this one.
You don't want to do it and couldn't bear to see the sight of an animal being killed. Are you actually fucking dumb? So why the fuck are you eating them then? Like, actually, who do you think is on your plate right now? I'm thinking about it now and whether I should have said something, but to be honest, I've already had so many discussions / debates about veganism with my course mates, and it's so draining because no one listens to actually learn or to be vegan. They all just do it to try and justify eating the dead bodies of mutilated animals, and also because these people are not my friends, merely just acquaintances as they were friends of my friends, and I didn't want to ruin my... You sound like so self-righteous and entitled. It's crazy. This guy thinks he's...
That right there, that's the thumbnail right there with L's comment. There's a problem with vet students themselves, and some it's after graduation. I knew one. Wow.
If I was like let me think of an analogy that this guy will understand, okay? If I were in like the dog kicking industry, you know, I was a vet for the dog kicking industry. There was just this realm where people, for fun, they would go into this arena and they just kick dogs, you know? And I was their vet, and then I was watching them kick them. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't like this. I don't want to like see this. Oh my God. And then I leave and then I go pay someone else to do it. Do you not think that's going to piss off someone who can see like exactly what's happening and doesn't have that cognitive dissonance? Doesn't that like entirely make sense why that would piss someone off? Because someone's saying, I don't like that. I don't want that. Oh my God, I don't want to even see it. It's disturbing to me, but they're paying for it. And you can't understand. In fact, you think it's self-righteous of someone to be annoyed at that?
He's like a main character. Sorry, I had to make that comment. Just couldn't help it. Anyway, and I didn't want to ruin my friend's birthday meal. Not that it would really, but like the vibe, you know, it would just feel slightly inappropriate. So I just had
What a riveting story. Thanks for telling us about this birthday meal.
So this guy's really self-entitled, but he even like didn't speak his mind because he didn't want to ruin the vibes. And you're like, oh yeah, self-entitled.
He saved it for YouTube.
What?
Cussing them in my head because this type of dumbass shit made me want to body slam the entire table. Wow, how peaceful. You want to harm other animals because they don't agree with you. Interesting.
Do you know that a given internal desire doesn't make you not peaceful? You could be a total pacifist and get annoyed in a minute and be like, oh, I just want to punch. Like, oh, I just want... It's about your actions. You know that, right?
What's up, Jake?
This guy, I actually think, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, people just don't, you know, really understand veganism. And then they just like, it's not that they don't like vegans. They just, you know, we're kind of a kind of, what's the word? Like a demonstration of something that makes some people uncomfortable, right? I think he actually hates vegans. Like, I'm getting the vibe from the way he
got dumped by a vegan, guys, or he went on a date with a vegan woman and she said, I'm good. That's what this is.
Explaining all of this stuff that say the vegan.
How do you get this butthurt that you made a whole channel about this? I don't know.
Component were removed from these people. I don't think he give a fuck. But it's like, oh, I hate, self-entitled. Oh, you just, what the hell? Like, I think I know if he does hate vegans exactly why, because he had a debate and it did not go well for him. So of course, instead of just changing your behavior, instead of just committing to these horrific bullet bites, you know, maybe it'd be better to double down and have some resentment.
Is this really all stemming from a debate he had with Vegan Gains? So if I had to guess, I feel like I maybe saw a bit of that or something. I don't know. But knowing Richard, he probably mopped the floor with this guy. And he got that upset that he made a channel. Wow. I'm more impressed that Vegan Gains destroyed someone so badly that he spawned an anti-vegan channel because they were so upset.
Possibly, hey?
Interesting. Very vegan of you, my friend, to want to harm your homies because they're not vegan. Peculiar. All right, let's take this from the top to the bottom, right? A real quick interruption. If you're enjoying this type of content, I have a channel called Curlington Stories, which is dedicated to covering interesting Reddit stories I come across of all different kinds.
Wow,
mystery, drama.
Yeah,
but anyway, back to the video. First off, as I already mentioned, most veterinarians are not vegan. I don't know why you expected that. This person was really shocked. Like surprised Pikachu. So what? They're not also vegan? Like, you sound stupid, dog. Now, immediately.
They weren't shocked. They're just annoyed at a sad reality that the people who really should be, there should be a drive within there to consider sentient beings. They're not doing it. Yeah. Do you really think they're like, oh my God, I went to this veterinary practice and like, oh my God, suddenly hardly anyone's vegan? Oh my God, this is a shock to me. Like, what?
Yeah, they're not. I mean, presumably they would have been vegan already and would have seen that, oh, you know, there aren't that many vegans out there.
No, it's not a shock. But You can withhold shock while remaining disappointed.
Really judging with all these your peers are eating because they're not eating vegan food like you. It just shows how self-righteous you are, dog. These people are literally in a profession that actually helps animals. Just
Yeah, I could just argue the inverse. It's self-righteous to sit down and like exploit an individual and violate their rights because you just didn't want to have the vegan burger. I'm going to spoil this for you guys, okay? I have seen the video where he argues that sapience is the trait that means that humans should be protected. He believes that there's a specific gene in humans where they all have the capacity for sapience, so even when they don't, they're genetically predisposed to. Therefore, humans are protected, non-human animals, they're not protected. So therefore, his worldview would mean I can go around kicking dogs just endlessly. I just kick the crap out of them. Kick them, kill them, eat them. Absolutely fine. He wouldn't have a moral problem in that, and he can't because in his view, they're not sapient. He says that some animals are sapient. I think he says like dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Gorillas.
Dolphins have that. Okay.
Dogs aren't those. So just endlessly kill them.
Cool. Cool story.
And I'm supposed to believe for a second that this position is the self-righteous one, to sit there and be genuinely uncomfortable when people are chowing down on individuals who were sentient beings who had their whole existence taken away because someone just didn't want to have a vegan version of that meal.
Dude, like,
and
if you create a channel where you lost a debate so badly that you had to create a channel to lick your wounds, does that mean that you're like right on the cusp of going vegan? Is this one of those like desperate cries for help? Like, no, I don't want to change. I don't want to change. Is that what's happening here? This is like incredible doubling down, an incredible level of it.
To think that person's self-righteous. What?
just like you are. They're in a profession that actually helps animals. And instead of being happy about that, being content that these people have chosen their life profession to be one that actually...
Wait. If someone rescues dogs, that's their whole profession. They really look after dogs. But then every time they see a Dalmatian, they kick the fuck out of them. They're just kicking. Oh, I don't like Dalmatians. They're kicking them, punching them. Would you be like, oh, well, they help dogs? Or let's analogize it perfectly, okay? Yeah. They rescue dogs. They love dogs. They look after dogs. They do lovely things for dogs. But they pay someone to go punch the Dalmatian. Would you be like, oh, can you not do that bit? Like, I really appreciate what you do for the others, but there's kind of a problem here. And also, it's kind of weird that you're doing that to the Dalmatians because, like, what compels you to rescue the other dogs? Does that help you understand, maybe?
Actually helped animals. You still want to somehow make this a negative?
Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do, guys, because I feel like we are a little bit in inception mode right now because I'm reacting to Elle, reacting to him. I feel like we got the gist of this guy. So let's go to her other video, which is, let's give that a little like there. Let's go to her debate with one of his fanboys. Let's do that. That'll be a little bit more probably watchable for you guys. All right. Fan of the Omni King debates vegan 5 hours ago. Brand new.
Did you hear what I asked you?
Yeah.
What did I say?
What did you say again?
That'll like. I already know I'll like it.
Happens in nature, therefore I can do it morally.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so, no.
You don't think an animal is sentient?
It's good editing, Elle.
No.
Do you know what sentient means? Can you just tell me what you take it to mean?
What does it mean? Yes.
Human flesh.
These guys are like,
no.
Not to give them more credit, like they're like that guy Descartes, you know, who thought that animals are just machines.
Dog flesh?
I won't eat a dog.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Hi, thank you for coming and agreeing to debate. I know you came from nobody can see you, by the way.
Vegan Anthem, Jeffrey.
I hope that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you came from the Omni King video, right? Is that correct? Okay. So I know you came from.
Someone needs to change their fire detector, carbon monoxide detector, something. I wonder if we're going to hear that throughout.
Omni King video, right? Is that
change the battery
yes.
out?
Yes, I did.
And are you a fan of Omni King?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So did you want to go through the claims that you made when it comes to veganism? Like, what are your arguments, your thoughts?
Yes, I'll go through it.
Okay, cool.
Veganism still kills animals.
Mhm.
You have the armors has to protect the crops and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Crop deaths, though, oh my God, like it's just so predictable and easy. Can you not? All right. Well, hopefully Elle explains it to this guy and thus demonstrates how even when you explain it to them, it doesn't get through, which is my prediction for what's about to happen. She's going to explain it to him and it's not going to penetrate.
Wrong.
Yeah. Has a vegan ever said they don't cause any harm whatsoever to you?
No, they never said that.
No. So why are you saying this to me? Because I didn't make that claim.
Because the reason why I'm saying this to you, y'all think all meat eaters is harming animals.
They
You are.
Yeah.
And we just got to survive. And I'm saying that.
By the way, listen to how worked up he already is. He just started. And you can hear it in his voice that he's all worked up.
Are also harming animals by buying from a grocery store. You should go, if you really want to save animals, like you claim you do, you should go off grid and grow your own food. It's the grocery stores that's killing the animals, and you're supplying that, like y'all say.
It's not the grocery store that's killing the. Okay. It's like he wanted to remove himself from the equation, put it to the grocery store instead of the slaughterhouse. That's just kind of a weird comment, but all right.
Meat eaters, we are buying for killing of animals, and y'all are doing the same thing.
Okay, so obviously every person knows, or you would think they know, that their presence on this earth means that they probably are harming even human beings, correct?
Yeah.
Would that give someone justification to exploit humans further? Because they may participate in things like, I don't know, buying into a grocery store, a company that subsidizes bad things to humans. Does that mean that they're justified in exploiting humans further, like directly?
They're not exploiting humans directly.
That's not what I'm asking, sorry. Do you want me to repeat?
Okay. What are you asking?
So I'm saying the regular person, they acknowledge, and you acknowledge as well, just like I do, that, oh, just by existing, I'm going to cause harm to human beings. But that wouldn't mean you could farm a human being and exploit them, does it? Just because you
you're right.
Yeah. So that's the vegan argument. Just because I may harm animals by going to the grocery store or the supermarket doesn't mean I get to then pay for exploitative practices directly in industries that literally profit off doing specifically that, or exploiting them in other ways. That doesn't mean I'm then suddenly justified.
So, but we're not justifying the murder of animals also. But the thing is, there is people that has to survive, and not everybody can eat from a vegan diet.
Could you?
And there is accounts that people got sick from trying to do.
Yeah, there's also accounts of people eating themselves to death, eating meat, eating, obviously. Have you been to a hospital? You know how like a lot of hospitals, they have like cardiac wing? It's not filled up with vegans, trust me.
Veganism.
Yeah, so the issue is, firstly, when it comes to these videos and stuff, these are anecdotes. You can't know, like a lot of these people, they don't get blood work done. They don't actually know why. They are making guesses about why it went wrong.
That's
and then
not
when
me,
you
by
have
the
the
way.
internet, people
It's
like
not me with the carbon monoxide detector.
the
Sorry.
and stuff. Yeah, so the issue is, firstly, when it comes to these videos and stuff, these are anecdotes. You can't know, like a lot of these people, they don't get blood work done. They don't actually know why. They are making guesses about why it went wrong. And then when you have the internet, people like the Omni King saying, oh yeah, it's not really healthy, it's really hard to do, even though he backtracks on that when he actually has a debate with a vegan, it makes people think it's more dangerous than it is, when it's just, like any other diet. If you're going to go plant-based, you can do it a good way, a healthy way, or you can do it a bad way, just like you can with many permutations of diets. So a plant-based diet is not suddenly special. You can either do it well or you don't.
But my friend, he tried to be a vegan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He said there was problems with the indications what he was doing, so he couldn't be a vegan. He had to be.
Wait, what? What? Say that again. My friend, he tried to be a vegan. He said that there were problems with the indications to be what?
Become a veg.
Say it again.
A plant-based diet is not suddenly special. You can either do it well or you don't.
But my friend, he tried to be a vegan. Okay.
This is the gist of his argument. My friend tried to be a vegan, by the way.
He said there was problems with the indications what he was doing, so he couldn't be a vegan. He had to become a vegetarian, so he has to have some meat.
He had to become a vegetarian, so he has to have some meat. What is it with people who don't understand even what a vegetarian is? A vegetarian doesn't eat meat. So he didn't become a vegetarian. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. I had someone say that to me recently too. They were like, I used to be vegan, but I was really tired. Right. I was really tired. And so now I'm a vegetarian who sometimes has fish. Well, then you're not a vegetarian. You're a pescatarian. How do people not know this? And also to that person, if you ever watch this, that is not the fish's problem. You being tired is not the problem for the fish. Okay.
Wait.
He tried being a vegan.
So wait, he was a vegetarian eating animals?
No, he was a no, he was a vegan first.
Right.
And then he was having some complications with that. He was getting like a swollen leg or something. I don't remember.
He was getting like a swollen leg from being right. Yeah, veganism causes a swollen leg. Well-documented problem with veganism, a swollen leg. You think maybe he fucking banged his knee on something, you dumbass?
And then he became a vegan.
What the fuck?
What would the evidence be?
What the fuck did we just listen to? He got a swollen leg. A swollen leg. That's his excuse for not being vegan anymore. His leg swelled up. What the fuck are we listening to?
A swollen leg would be caused by being vegan.
I'm not saying that's the case. I don't remember. He just told me that he had to eat some meat.
Do you
I
believe?
don't remember exactly.
Yeah. So do you think maybe you might do some critical thinking with that guy and say, oh, maybe this guy isn't the authority on this? Do you think? You think maybe you could have? Oh, it's like, look, we encounter people in our lives all the time. Do you think that everyone you encounter is an expert on things? Well, if that's the case, if that's how fickle you are, now you're encountering an expert. Elle is an expert, so now you have to believe her because apparently you just believed the last thing you heard. Well, here's some refuting evidence for you. Now you're actually talking to someone who actually does have some expertise in the field, as she is a vegan for like more than a decade, I think. I can't remember how long Elle's been vegan. Long time activist.
Do you believe that the veganism caused his swollen leg?
I have no clue, honestly.
Okay.
Because you're kind of bringing it up as if it's evidence against veganism. Otherwise, I don't know why you're bringing it up right now.
The reason why I brought it up, because he said, I didn't say that the swollen leg, I don't know what it was, but he said that he just could not just eat place-based vegetables. He has to have some meat in his diet. He said this.
People say a lot of things, my friend. Doesn't make it evidence. So why are you believing your dumbass friend, but not someone who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about?
Yeah, but just because he's saying it, I could say, oh, I'm not a millionaire because I have, I don't know, brown hair. I could say that, but it doesn't tell you that that's true, right?
But why would he make something like that up? That just doesn't make any sense.
But
he didn't make it up. You see, the problem is he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And he had a swollen leg and he blamed the fucking diet that he was on, which, by the way, was just a diet. He wasn't vegan. He was just doing some plant-based shit. So veganism again for the trolls out there who may be watching this, waiting to pounce. By the way, I have a nice book for you. Veganism is an ethical stance. Okay, it's not a diet. It's an ethical stance against animal exploitation. And so this guy obviously wasn't a vegan because he wouldn't have said, oh, you know what? It's a cow's fault that my leg is swollen up. I should go fucking kill a cow now. No, you idiot.
People make stuff up all the time. Why?
Yeah, but not when it comes down to eating meat and their health.
They do.
Yeah, well,
yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Like people misdiagnose themselves all the time. Have you not heard of this? Why when it comes to veganism, does the brain stop working for a lot of these meat tards? I mean, help me understand why it just completely flatlines for them.
Okay, so what has he used as evidence that veganism caused the swollen leg then?
I don't know. That's what he said.
Freedom fighter.
Well, if he hasn't got any
And
evidence,
plus, I said I don't remember if it was what he said. I'm just saying the swollen leg. I don't remember. He said something like that. We were talking. And he said he has to have some meat.
Okay. Well, unless he can provide evidence that would lead to him having like a swollen leg, you know, something that is very like well known to probably lead to leg swelling and stuff like that, then I don't know. We can't take his word for it, you know. So I'm just going to have to leave that. And we have to remember what you're referencing right now is an anecdote. What we want to do when it comes to diets and when it comes to anything empirical, we want to look at the data, the hierarchy of scientific evidence. We want to refer to, you know, the most reliable sources of data. And so have you read any data about health outcomes for people who are plant-based?
Yeah. Yes, I read evidence that there was people that actually got sick because they could not handle a vegan diet at all.
What did you read?
Let's take a look at this evidence.
People had complications. They were trying to take the vitamins, but that didn't work out for them.
Sorry,
people had complications. They tried to take the vitamins, but that didn't work out for them. Yeah. What did you read, my friend? Yeah, just a little word of advice. I'm not surprised that this guy doesn't have the article he read. And let's just face it, it was a fucking article or a blog post. It wasn't a study. It was an article or a blog post. Now, I can forgive him for not having it pulled up. However, if you're going to engage in a debate on veganism, you might want to have your sources pulled up in advance so that you can then discuss them. But of course, he didn't do that.
So die.
Sorry, Nate, what did you read?
He's not going to be able to find it.
Where did you read it? What is it?
I read it from Google and accounts.
Yep.
Google and accounts. Okay.
But I'm talking about studies. So when I asked, have you read a study, like reliable sources of data? Have you read any of those?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Right. Let's leave the health stuff for a minute and just refer back to, you said we need, I feel like we're going to go back there by mistake, but let's see. You said we need to survive. So that would suggest that we can't live without animals' bodies and their secretions.
No, I said some people.
Okay, so.
And then she asked, if you'll recall earlier in the debate, she asked, can you? And he never answered that, of course.
A vegan diet, not everybody.
Well, I'm talking to you right now, so can you?
I don't know, and I'm not going. I love my meat.
You love your meat. Well, I love meat too. I love vegan meat. I just had a vegan chicken wrap, so I'm not telling you.
I don't want a vegan wrap.
Okay, so
I don't want a vegan wrap. It's just children. It's like talking to a child, what she's dealing with right now. You know, when I was like 4 or 5, I remember for some reason I didn't want to eat green peas. I don't know why. Some kind of thing about the green peas was off-putting to me for some reason when I was like 5. And I have for some reason, I have very few memories of my childhood. I don't really understand why. Someone said that's a problem or something. I don't know. I just don't remember a lot from that time. I do remember this time sitting at the kitchen table. The dining room table, I guess. and refusing to eat my green peas, and my mother or father, and it's vague, telling me, okay, well, you don't get up until you finish those things. And I fucking battled and battled and battled and sat there because I didn't want to eat my green peas. And that's what I'm hearing from this guy. Just the arguments of a 5-year-old.
I think animals who aren't human deserve their rights to be respected.
Yeah, I think animals would have the right to be respected.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's going to be something that's compatible with respecting them if you're going to pay for their bodies, who, you know, they were exploited throughout their life and farmed? Like, is that something that you think can be respectful for them?
But the thing is, like I said, you're not living off the grid. So you're also paying for animals to be killed. You are.
Nate, do you remember at the start of this conversation when we both acknowledged that we do cause harm just by existing?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we can then go out of our way to cause more harm if we can avoid those systems, yeah?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so can we drop that and move forward?
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. Do you
A
think
5-year-old. A 5-year-old.
it would be something that's
That
like
was pretty funny.
systems,
Hear it
yeah?
again.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so can we drop that and move forward?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Do you think it would be something that's like respectful or good for an animal to be farmed and then, you know, sent to the slaughterhouse when they're of prime weight or, you know, desired to slaughter them? Do you think that's like something that's respectful in your view?
No, it's not right. But
No.
it's not right. But you don't want to. I wanted to say, but it's essential for people's health.
What's essential for people's health? Sorry.
Meat. Not everybody cannot handle a vegan diet.
Wait, so what evidence are you using for this?
There's plenty of counts of that.
What does that mean? What do you mean by accounts? Do you mean some sort of study that talks about specific people?
Yes, there are studies. Not everybody cannot handle a vegan
But
diet.
you never read one, you never saw one, you never cited one. Remember what you said when she said, "What did you read?" You said, I found it on Google and accounts. Google and accounts was your source. Don't know what you mean by accounts, but okay.
Okay, I'm going to have to reject this until you give me the specific study you're talking about. Otherwise, I don't know what you're speaking about. Are you able to do that now, or is that something you'd like to do another time?
I can look for it now.
Okay.
A few moments later.
I'm trying to figure out how to put it on the chat.
There is a little like chat box thingy. Can you see it in the bottom right hand corner? It's like the second one in, like a speech bubble.
Yeah,
kind of
this
thing.
is an
You see it?
unfair fight. I feel sorry for
Oh,
her
you're
as well,
mobile?
Tess.
Yes,
Ooh,
I'm mobile.
I don't know how it works on there. I'm so sorry. Can you just tell me the title and the author of the paper? That might help.
Well, to be fair, we don't know who's got the beep going. Could be I doubt it's L, but someone needs to change the battery.
All right, wait a minute.
2,000 years later.
If you want to send it another time, Nate, you totally can. I'm just gonna say with the Dr. Michael Greger thing, I don't think he has a specific study on the claim you're trying to make. He makes YouTube videos and blogs and stuff, but I don't think he's like got a specific study pertaining to the claim that now I've forgotten. What claim are you trying to defend with this like article?
That not everybody cannot handle a vegan diet.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Greger has.
Wait, not everyone cannot handle a vegan. So that means everyone can handle a vegan diet. So what he just said.
Some sort of study on specific people who can't go vegan. I really am. I'll be shocked if he does.
Okay, so if you think this, so what do you think when it comes down to people that can handle a vegan diet? If you think he's not credible enough,
it's not. He's not credible. But the thing is, I'm looking for a study, you know, like some sort of like randomized control trial, cohort study, all these sorts of things that are quite high up there, that on the hierarchy of scientific evidence that would compel me to change my view. Because can I right now, if you're going to take anecdotes and stuff, can I tell you about my friend's story?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, my friend Joe, his mum got sick while eating meat. and she had to get surgery in her large intestine. So if you're just going to kind of like refer to people's anecdotes or do what I think might be happening, where it's like looking at blogs or YouTube videos as evidence, then you're just going to have to look at that and say, oh, meat must be bad then because someone got sick from it.
Yep.
It was a story that they gave about their life.
Yeah. So why is that less credible?
But here's the thing: everybody's body is different. So if she got sick from a meat diet, from eating meat, that doesn't mean everybody can handle a vegan diet. Just like, you feel what I'm saying?
I understand what you're trying to say. However, I'm going to need some sort of like reliable evidence on specific groups of people who just cannot go vegan until my mind has changed. But you know what? For the sake of moving forward, or being fair, I'll grant some people might not be able to be vegan right now. I grant that right now. There's maybe some people who need to rob people to survive. That doesn't mean I think burglary is justified, So
that's a good example there, El.
It might be the case that blanketly, I can't just say 8 billion people go vegan right now. Maybe I can't do that. So let's say that. But let's move it back to yourself. You're saying you could go vegan, but you just don't want to, right?
No, I just don't want to.
Okay. But you said before that you believe non-human animals deserve their rights to be respected, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that consuming their bodies?
Well, first of all, lions eat animals, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to eat my meat. I think it's not right for people to there's more ways that you can kill an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't like to watch it, but again, we still
you don't like to watch it because you haven't watched it. Yeah, Tess, it's part infuriating, part hilarious. I agree. I know, honest doubter, he didn't grasp that. Wait, what re-upload? It's commenting later. Oh, it's a re-upload? Are we watching the re-upload or an old one? I don't know. Just continue.
Which I'm going to keep eating my meat.
I'm going to keep eating my
hang
meat.
on, before we talk about
First of all,
meat.
it's not your meat. It's their meat, actually. Their flesh. And so what you just said is that you're going to keep eating yourself, which nobody here has a problem with you doing. I don't think. You can, it's weird, but you can go ahead and do that. If you want to eat yourself, it's your body.
Because again, I don't, that's going to be another study to show that we biologically require the flesh of animals. And I rather honestly don't think
you do, but
okay, so we do. So we'll table that for now and we'll deal with that in a minute.
Right.
So you said lions eat animals. Do you think because lions do it, you're justified in doing it?
Our bodies is made for that, not everybody.
Our bodies is made for that, not everybody.
It's not so much. Wait, did you hear what I asked you?
I'm just going to write that. Our bodies is made.
Yeah.
What did I say?
What did you say again?
Yeah. So you said lions eat animals, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think because lions do it, it's justified for you to do it?
Yeah, I think it is justified.
Can I show you why using that logic is a really bad idea?
Why?
So there's other stuff that lions
Most people
do that I don't think
can think ahead. You said why. Most people would have already seen where this was going. Not this guy.
think you'd be okay morally with doing. So when lions, they go to a new pride, the males, the first thing that they'll do is they will kill all the children who don't belong to them biologically. So they'll just kill all these infants. Do you think it's justified to come into a new family group and then kill all the infants who are not your own?
No, I don't. And you're just diverting that that has nothing to do with the argument.
It has
What we're-
one-to-one, absolutely everything
No,
to
it
do with
does
it.
not.
Can I explain why?
Why?
Because this is like
Listen to these. Why? This, I mean, he sounds like an adult, but the way he talks is like a 5-year-old. So it's kind of like she's debating a 5-year-old right now.
what is like a very popular fallacy. It's called the appeal to nature fallacy. It's people look out into nature and they go, oh, it happens in nature, therefore it's good. So if you see a lion out there killing little lion children, and then you're like, oh, well, that happens, so it's good. That's an appeal to nature fallacy. You're just deriving a good from the presence of it happening in nature. So that means anything natural. If you have this argument, then logically what would follow is hospitals are bad because they combat disease and disease is natural. Killing infants who are not your blood, that would be absolutely justified because that happens in nature. Horrific things happen in nature. And it's directly related to what you said, because you said lions do it, therefore I'm justified. I.e. happens in nature, therefore I can do it morally.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your proof that a human can handle a vegan diet? Where's your proof?
She's the proof right now. Where's your proof that a human can handle a vegan diet? I feel like he wanted to say, but of course he couldn't do it. He couldn't manage the question. I feel like he wanted proof that all humans can manage a vegan diet. But he didn't say that.
Well, we have like the scientific consensus, like world's leading dietitians have comprised loads of the data, and there's like a consensus that there's a statement from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics stating, okay, well, vegan diets, so plant-based diets, are suitable for all stages of life. So I'm then referring to the scientific consensus. I'm looking at something that's highly regarded in the scientific literature, and yeah, it's stating it's safe and suitable.
Okay, but I don't think so, though.
Oh, okay. I don't think so, though.
You don't think?
Yeah. Well, okay, that settles it then. All the experts say, it is, but you don't think so, though. So they're, well, debunked. Shit.
So
no, I don't.
But it's the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, like the largest body of the world's leading dietitians.
Not really comprised of vegans either.
Concluding on many, many papers, looking at all the literature within that, and then they're making a conclusion based on that.
So I'm pretty sure that they're also saying that people cannot handle a vegan diet.
Oh, is
the
that
Academy
what
of
that's
Nutrition and
the opposite of what they said? But, yeah, okay.
Dietetics has stated that people cannot handle plant-based diets.
I'm pretty sure that there's some people that said that.
Well, some people and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics are going to be different. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Some people? Who have you heard say that?
I'm talking about what you're looking up.
What am I looking up?
The dietitian, whatever you said.
How do you know they said that if you can't remember what I said?
But how do you know that?
How do I know what?
But how do you know that other people didn't say that was there?
What? Say again?
I'm not sure.
How do you know?
How do I know what?
But how do you know that other people didn't say that was there?
I'm not sure.
This guy is malfunctioning in real time.
You're asking me, Nate. Sorry.
So how do you? Huh?
Sorry. Can you just try and rephrase it?
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, guys. Maybe there's a tech issue. Maybe there was a drop signal or something. Who knows?
So how do you know what they're not saying, that they can't eat a meat diet?
I honestly don't know what you're. So are you saying, how do I know that they don't think that you can eat animals?
Exactly.
That's not what.
Well, they've put out a position stating that the absence of consuming flesh and secretions of animals still means that people have positive health outcomes. If you need something, like you're saying we do, and we can move on to that, if I require the flesh of animals, not only, I mean, if we really want to appeal to anecdotes, this is my 11th and a half year of not eating animals. So I've been vegan for 11 years. If I required the flesh of animals, I'd be dead, right?
Yeah, you would, or
Mhm.
you'll get sick.
I would have been sick a long time ago if I needed it, right?
But that's not everybody, though. I'm sorry, I just don't believe what you're reading.
Yeah. I mean, it's curious that you would have a skeptical view of a statement put out by an authority body, which, by the way, that's a healthy thing to do. It's to question things. But what he didn't do was question his friend who said, I had to eat meat because my legs swelled up. He didn't question that, but he's questioning this, highly regarded statement.
Well, this is the thing. If you're going to say to me that, like, are you familiar with the hierarchy of scientific evidence?
No.
Okay, so within science, you're going to have, like scientific papers, or within knowledge generally, when you're making some sort of empirical claim about things that can be measured and observed, you want to make sure that when you're acquiring data and knowledge about it, that you're doing it in the most reliable ways. So, we factor in different methodology or ways of collecting data or doing research. And then as we go up the hierarchy.
You know what? Here's what I'm concluding from this. I think that Elle would make a great preschool teacher. It would be better if, Elle, you could catch these people while they're still forming their brains and help them to understand things before they become full-fledged adults and wreak havoc on the planet. So I'm going to make a change.org petition. Okay, let me just write this down so I don't forget to do it. Calling on Elle to go into education. Change.org petition. Make Elle a teacher. Please do that, Elle. A teacher. And I know you guys will sign my petition, right? And then I will gather up the signatures and I'll present it to Elle, and she'll be bound by that. Yeah. Because we all know change.org petitions always work. And so, yeah.
It becomes more and more reliable based upon variables that have been factored in that won't then make it harder to find out what is actually causing a conclusion to happen. All these sorts of things. So when we look at the hierarchy, if you just look on Google, right, look up the hierarchy of scientific evidence or the evidence hierarchy, you'll see. It will say, and what you'll notice is there's an absence of any sort of thing like anecdotes. The closest thing you can get is a case report, which is like just...
You're full of shit, actually, Elle, because I'm pretty sure if you Google, the hierarchy of scientific evidence, while it may not be at the top, I'm pretty sure if your friend tells you that their leg swelled up, then that isn't acceptable. I think that's on the... It's not at the top. I'm not saying it's at the top, but that's definitely on that list.
Like a collection of anecdotes or a more robust in a way anecdote, but even then it's at the very bottom because, Joe's mum got sick eating animals. That doesn't mean meat's bad for you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean meat is bad for you.
Exactly. So the way you're looking at the world and the way you're scientifically analyzing it, it's not good because it would then compel you to actually believe that meat's bad for you because someone got sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, honest doubter, I have a sneaking suspicion that this guy's brain has ceased to form and has started to deteriorate. I hope you're right, though. I hope it's going the other way.
But if I can't convince you with like what would be the highest level of evidence, then I don't really know what I can convince you of scientifically, right? Because we can't go through this in the same way. So what I just want to kind of talk about is your view of animals, right?
Yeah, okay.
Do you acknowledge that an animal is sentient?
Uh-oh.
I don't think so. No,
Uh-oh.
You don't think an animal is sentient?
no.
Do you know what sentient means? Can you just tell me what you take it to mean?
What does it mean?
He doesn't.
Sorry, when I asked and you said no,
So you didn't. That's funny. So she's going to point out. So when you said no, you didn't know what the word that I used meant, and you answered no, even though you didn't know what you were saying. So, oh my God. Look, Tess, I know you feel sorry for her. I feel somewhat sorry for her as well, but this is great content. It's great content. It's good for her channel.
What does it mean?
sorry, when I asked and you said no, you don't know what it means?
What does it mean?
So sentient means the capacity to experience, to feel pain. You know, you're a subject in the world, you see the world, or in some way.
Oh yeah, they can feel pain. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. They can feel pain. Oh, but they're not sentient. According. Oh, whoops. Oh, wrong word. He was thinking of a different word.
So if I send an animal to the slaughterhouse, it's going to be bad for them, right?
But they try to find ethical ways to not make them feel pain.
Like yeah. Please, by all means.
What?
Like a blow to the back of the head or something that's quick.
Do you think that would be acceptable morally to do to a human?
No, I don't.
Would you for a second be like, oh, well, they found an ethical way to shoot them. They did it in the back of the head really quick. They didn't know. Or would you not even entertain that?
No, I don't think it's right. But it is, if somebody got to survive, it is what it is. Especially if you got to eat.
Yeah, you can eat
I don't
plant-based.
think it's right for humans at all.
You can eat plant-based, can't you?
Huh?
You can eat plant-based, can't you?
I do eat plant-based, but I also eat meat.
Yep.
Man. All right. It's like trying to find an analogy for what this is like. Nilf, are you here? Nilf, are you with us? Okay. All right. So I grew up like, I don't want to reveal personal details. Okay, Nilf. I'm going to think of a fictitious sports team to analogize this. Let's just say there's a team called the Few Nork Yets. The Few Nork Yets. And if you watch them throughout the years, you notice that they're said to play the game of football, but is that really what they're doing? Or are they mixing up sports? Are they trying to play a different sport than the teams that they're playing? Because you might argue that they're trying some different game. That's what this is like. I'm sorry. I realized that wasn't that interesting, but I wanted to make a sports analogy because I know, Nilf, you've been following your Bills and whatnot. I almost brought up a team that I actually root for, which is not the Jets, by the way. But I'd rather make it more difficult for people to know who never mind.
But when you say, oh, you need to eat animals to survive, you don't, though, do you?
Yes, you do. Not everybody.
No, I'm talking
Mhm.
about you right now. Let's just keep it on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about me.
Yeah, you could
I
survive.
personally don't know if I can do a plant-based diet or not.
So you could do one. It's just you don't want to. That's what it boils down
No,
to.
I don't want to.
Yeah. So let's stop saying, oh, well, we need to survive. We need to, I need
I'm
it.
not talking about myself.
Well, we are talking about you. Let's be very, very clear. Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to hash out your value. You've made claims. Okay. And I want to know why you're not vegan. That's why I'm asking you, if you think that they should have their rights.
Okay. But really, though, poor New York City football fans, they have two teams. How many other places can say that? They have two choices, just like with their baseball. They got the Mets, they got the Yankees. Why the fuck did they get two? They get the Jets and the Giants? Dividing the city. That's ridiculous. They should have one team per city. That's what I say. That's what I say.
I don't want to be vegan.
Okay. So you acknowledge that these animals are sentient. It would be a horrific experience to take their life away from them. Even if you shot them in the back of the head and they didn't know, this magical scenario that doesn't actually happen in the farming industry, right? You know that wouldn't be right for a human to do. So there must be something about all these other animals that's different. That means you think there can be an ethical way to take their life away from them just by shooting them in the back of the head. Is there something different about humans and other animals that justify?
Does anyone know if Novak Djokovic and Piers Morgan get into veganism? I figure someone would have posted it by now. I'm really loath to give Piers Morgan a view, but I'm very curious how Piers Morgan would handle plant-based Novak Djokovic with all the ridiculous claims that he's made. As Djokovic won his 101st title just days ago.
Shooting them in the back of the head and it becomes ethical, but not for the human.
That's because I'm a human. That's all it is. I'm a human. And to me, it's not ethical. I think the animals would feel the same way. But we all got to survive. It is what it is.
You're doing the survive thing again. Remember, we've already said you could survive plant-based. You just don't want to. So please stop saying that.
I don't want to.
Yeah, then it's not about surviving, Nick.
I just don't want to.
Okay, exactly. So for you, the reason that humans are protected in this instance, but the non-human animals aren't, is because you're human. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Hocus Pocus?
Yes, I saw Hocus Pocus a long time ago.
Yes, good film, right? You remember when the kids turned into a cat?
Yeah, I remember, yes.
If you were turned into a cat tomorrow, would it then be justified to kill all the human beings on the planet?
If we were turned into an animal?
If you were turned into a cat tomorrow, the witches...
Even though that's not logical, but okay, let's go there. Hey,
nice example.
Hey, if they feel like they need to eat me, that's fine.
No. I'm asking if you were turned into a cat by the witches, because you're not human anymore. Would it then?
You didn't.
You
didn't get it.
If I was turned into a cow or a cat, which
she's asking, would that then justify killing all the humans? You're backwards.
Mm-hmm.
What if I was turned into a cow and they want to eat me? Hey, it is what it is.
Yep,
that's not what I asked you.
Try again.
Okay, what did you ask me?
Okay. So what you said to me, that the reason it's not justified to kill the humans, but it is justified to kill the animals, is because you're a human, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to test this logic. So now, in the Hocus Pocus hypothetical, you have been turned into a cat, okay?
Okay.
Now you're not human anymore. So is it now justified to kill all the humans because you're not human anymore?
That's unlogical.
That's unlogical, but...
I mean, cats don't even think like that.
Cats don't even think like that. So
you're getting at.
I don't know what you're getting at. Are you?
I mean, cats.
I believe a lot of these people who they appeal to how special humans are, how we can think so logically, how we're so intelligent, how we do great things. Like build bridges and space shuttles. And these people who do this are often the dumbest among us. The people who can't think logically are somehow incapable of this. Okay.
Don't even think like that. So I don't know what you're getting at.
What I'm trying to get at is just because you're not human anymore, or maybe if you died, or something happened where you're not human anymore, yeah? That doesn't suddenly mean all the humans on the planet lose their value, right?
Okay.
So what I'm trying to get at is I don't think it's because you're human. I think you still value humans, even if you weren't human, even if you were, you didn't even exist anymore. I think you would still, value the concept of humans existing after you.
Okay, but these are unlogical, so that stuff will never happen.
Well, the second
Okay, so unlogical isn't a word, but we'll just move past it.
one isn't, because you literally are going to die, right? I'm going to die.
Yeah, I'm going to die
Yeah.
no matter, of old age or anything.
Yeah, of anything, yeah. So, when we drop dead, humans don't stop being valuable, right?
No,
No.
there's that cares about them like family.
Exactly. And you say that's applicable to the non-human animals as well. They have families, they care, and we actually steal them from their families to have their flesh or their secretions. But they care about their families, and we take that away from them.
Exactly, you're right. But hey, I'm still human though.
Yeah. Therefore what?
And I'm going to keep eating my meat.
So again,
Even
it's not your meat that you're talking about, but if you want to eat yourself, you go for it, buddy. You go for it. I encourage it.
though you know it's the wrong thing to do.
How do you know what's wrong?
You've told me you think it's wrong.
Yeah, but I'm still eating my meat though.
So you're going to do something even though you know it's wrong.
I'm going to eat my meat. Yup.
Okay, Nate. At the very least, could you maybe stop writing these weird comments against vegans, because we've now demonstrated you don't have an argument against vegans.
No, I'm not going to stop, because y'all are still judging for what people are eating.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah,
If y'all stop judging.
No, if
y'all stop judging.
If I said
boy,
to you, right?
Poor boy. If y'all would stop judging me, then I would stop writing the comments, but it hurts me so bad when you judge me. There. It's gonna be okay. My foxy co-hosts, guys. My foxy co-hosts are there. You guys thought? No, they're still here. They're still here. They're just off to the side doing their thing. My foxy co-hosts. Oh. Sometimes we just need a little hug, a little comfort. Foxy co-hosts.
Yeah, I have a partner, and I'm just gonna abuse her and punch her. I know it's wrong, but I'm going to do it. Would you judge me?
Yeah, I would.
Oh.
So why are you annoyed when a vegan judges you for doing something you know to be wrong?
So why are you annoyed that we judge you for judging us?
If I'm doing the wrong thing and I know it to be wrong, that's judgeable. But if I'm judging someone for doing a wrong thing they know to be wrong, and they judge me,
but I know you don't want to hear it, but you're also killing animals also by eating your vegan
We did
diet.
that.
Nate, didn't we address this? We're going full circle within a circle.
But it's still the same thing, though.
But did a vegan ever say to you, the vegan philosophy means no harm?
This guy's
whatsoever?
just wounded. He's just hurt. Oh, vegan women, look me in the eye. Look, vegan women, I'm addressing you now, vegan women. I know that these guys are clowns, okay? I know it. I know you don't want to date them. You shouldn't date them. But please, when you break things off and you're like, you're dumb as shit, and I can't date him because he's a fucking moron, and he smells bad because he eats meat, and he's just so fucking ugh. Let him down gently, okay? Try this. Try something like this. Okay. I know this doesn't really work, but I'm just not in the right place in my life to date. I don't like feeling good. I don't like sex right now in my life. That usually works, right? I don't like companionship. At this point in my life, it's my mindset. I don't like good things. Try that. Yeah, that'll work. Just all I'm saying is you guys are breaking hearts and people aren't taking it well, and it's causing the world to end. Okay, I blame vegan women. for the state of the world. Okay.
That happens to non-human animals.
But the people that's growing the food has to kill the animals.
Yeah, what do the animals eat?
They eat vegetables. Some of them eat vegetables. Some animals eat meat, and some animals eat grains and stuff.
So most of the animals are, going to be eating grains, vegetables, crops. So what do you think is going to require more crops? Feeding people the crops or feeding the animals crops? Some of them who have a higher calorie intake every day than humans do, and then killing those animals.
We're at the point that I knew we'd get to. Well, actually, I didn't know we were going to swing back around to crop deaths. Not shocked. But now we've got her explaining crop deaths. And this is going to test my theory. A well-established theory, by the way. Well-established conclusion, you might say. That it doesn't get through. So let's watch this logic not get through. This should be interesting.
And eating crops on top of that. Which one do you think is going to require more crops?
The problem is it doesn't matter. They're still killing the animals too.
Okay. You see? Didn't get through. Didn't get through. Okay. Wait. Give them a chance. Let's see.
Preserve your vegan diet.
We have the most patient person on the planet, Vegan Gaze. Let's see if she can do it. Can she get through? Can she do what I would assume is probably an impossible task, which is to explain to a meat eater crop deaths, though? I don't think it can be done. Let's see if she can do it.
You think is worse if 10 people die or if 100 people die?
100 people would be worse.
Yeah, so would you pick the option of less humans dying?
Yes, I would pick the option of less.
Okay, wait. Maybe he's getting it. Okay, but my prediction is that it's still not going to work. Come on, though. This is giving it the old college try, though. L, you gave it the old college try. I don't know why we put college before try, but we do. So if you didn't go to college, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but
what would be worse, 100 cows dying or 10 cows dying?
It doesn't. And another thing I need to say.
No. Wait. Can we do that in a minute? We'll do that in a minute. Can you just answer the question?
If people need to eat,
No. I'm going to lose interest if you don't answer the question. It just seems like you're not listening.
Okay, 100 cows.
That would be worse. Do you think?
No, 10 cows would be worse.
So
10 cows would be worse than 100. Oh no. Oh no. I told you guys. I told you it's impossible. The task that we gave Elle, we didn't give it to her, but it's impossible.
10 cows dying would be worse than 100 cows dying.
Yes.
Why did that flip?
Because, like I said, some humans just need to eat.
No, that's not what you're not being asked right now. Do you remember just before that I said what's worse, 10 humans dying or 100 humans dying?
You.
Yeah, so you picked 100. Yeah, so what's worse? 10 cows dying or 100 cows dying?
10 cows dying.
I'm going to need to hear the maths on this one.
He's arguing. I understand what's going on in his little brain. He's saying that 10 cows would feed less people, so that's worse. But we're dealing with crop deaths right now, and he seems to have forgotten that. Of course, because he's stupid. He can't track what is being discussed. So he was making the argument about crop deaths and vegans still kill animals. She's explaining to him crop deaths. His little brain has moved off that. And now he can't think about it. Oh, man. Yep. Yeah. So that happened. The entertainment, though, is through the roof. I'm entertained.
We still got to eat as humans.
That's not that. Why you didn't say this for the human context? So you think mathematically, 10 cows losing their life is worse than 100 cows losing their life, all things equal?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Because we got to eat.
That's not what you're not being asked about eating them right now. They just die. They're not for eating. They're like companion animals. Yeah. They're nobody.
Okay,
yeah. Which one's worse?
Okay, if nobody's eating them, the 100 cows is worse.
Okay, and yeah, I should have made it clear. Like, you're talking about like crop death, so you're talking about like mice and rabbits and animals like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 100 rabbits dying or 10, which one's worse?
100.
Okay, so when you said it doesn't matter, when I asked you like which one's going to require more crops, it does matter to you, because if you're concerned with more lives being lost, that would compel you to go plant-based.
But the thing is, those rabbits that died, and you're just eating plants, are they being eaten, or they're just dying for no reason at all?
Well, you said that it was worse to have more rabbits die than less rabbits. So regardless of what the answer to this question is, you already answered that it's better to be plant-based. Of course, you don't understand that. Look, no one at this point, I think L has given up on expecting you to understand this point. We're just sort of hoping at this point, I'm sure this is what's going on in L's brain. Content. And also, maybe some little stupid person out there, she's thinking of all the little stupids, all the little morons, and she's just hoping that one of them can watch that video and wait, my position is stupid. It can happen. It happens sometimes, but we don't have a lot of hope for you, Nate.
What do you mean by no reason at all? Can you give me an example?
Because you don't eat animals, right? And they have to kill those animals to supply your vegan food, and they're not being eaten at all. So they're just dying for no reason at all.
Yeah, but I'm concerned.
Okay. So he's saying that in the event of crop deaths, when it's for vegetables, that's worse because you're not eating those animals. Question, Nate, I hope she asks this. Are you eating the rabbits? Do you eat the rabbits that are killed in the crop deaths for you? Do you eat all the animals that fucking, what's his name again? I feel happy that I started to forget this guy's name. He was on Rogan, and everybody like quotes it verbatim. I forget. The fucking horrible musician that for some reason people think is good. Disturbing. Yeah, that's another thing, by the way, guys, that is a real epidemic is taste. Cat scratch fever guy, whatever the fuck his name is. He's god awful. And I will fight you. If anyone in here contends that he's good at music, get out. Just get right out.
With them, that's why I'd go plant-based, because I'd contribute to a system that requires less energy and less crops.
But the only way for you to do that, to do better, like you say, you care about your animals, go live off the grid.
I think that's actually not even allowed legally in the.
Thank you for reminding me what that fuck's name is. But yeah, does he eat those animals? Sorry. We've gone way off topic here. Way off topic. Not really.
That's why I'd go plant-based, because I'd contribute to a system that requires less energy and less crops.
But the only way for you to do that, to do better, like you say, you care about your animals, go live off the grid.
I think that's actually not even allowed legally in the UK. Like, they won't let you, unless you have specific permits, even connect to water systems and stuff like that. I think I'd get in a lot of trouble with the law. But I don't value.
you're still contributing to animals' death, no matter what.
Nate, we've already addressed this, I think, 3 times already, so this would be the 4th. And I asked you if we could move on from that because we'd already addressed how that isn't applicable or has anything to do with veganism, and you said yes, and now you go back on it. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm circling, because you're saying it's wrong for us to eat animals.
It is wrong to exploit them. Veganism is a stance against exploitation. So crop deaths aren't even exploitation. So it doesn't even connect with what veganism is in the first place. But of course, I would like to hang on, Nate, I hadn't finished my sentence. I'm trying to explain what veganism is, right? So veganism is to deal with exploitation. So even if you're like, oh well, it still kills animals, yeah, it doesn't engage with what veganism seeks to abolish anyway. The exploitation is the fundamental issue. Of course, I'd like to see systems that consider animals as much as possible. Unfortunately, farmers, even plant farmers, aren't necessarily vegan, and I can't make them be vegan, despite what people say about vegans forcing views. So yeah, I am now done. You can carry on.
Okay. Only thing I have a problem with for the exploitation is people making clothes and leather jackets. That's what I have a problem with.
Oh yeah, why?
Because it's wrong.
People gotta wear clothes. People gotta stay warm.
Make clothes out of animals. That's what I have a problem with.
Why is it?
But wait, this is interesting. But I don't understand why. The logic doesn't make much sense here, does it?
Sorry, carry on.
But for survival reasons, eating meat, there's nothing wrong with it.
Wait. I'm sure there's people out in the Arctic that they need, some kind of like fur coat, right? They don't have any access to non-vegan coats. Definitely not. Definitely not. No, they've got to slaughter an animal, take their skin and wear it. But you're saying that's wrong. That what you're judging. Wow, you're so judgmental. Oh my God, I'm gonna make a channel. I'm gonna make a YouTube channel about this. Judgmental meat eaters.
You say.
But the survival reasons doesn't interact with your instance because you've already acknowledged that you can survive plant-based. You just don't want to. Secondly, why?
I don't know, and I don't want to try.
Yeah, and that's not about you surviving. So secondly, why is it not good to turn them into a clothing item, but it is so good in your view to turn them into a burger?
Because it's food for people to eat. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh,
you're wearing
wait,
clothes.
You like Jeffrey Dahmer?
That doesn't even make any sense.
But he ate people. Okay, they turned him into food.
Oh, keep going. I'm Jeffrey Dahmer because I'm eating animals.
No. I said, do you like Jeffrey Dahmer?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, he turned people into food.
But that doesn't remotely add up or make any sense.
Yeah,
He was a crazy individual.
It does. Makes a whole lot of sense based on what you're saying.
He was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to take lives away from individuals so you can turn them into your meal. Yeah.
You're just making up anything like that.
No, she's running circles around you, my friend. Can I call you my friend, Nate? We're not friends. But I don't know. It's just a way for me to be a little more condescending to you. So is that okay? My friend Nate?
Totally add up whatsoever.
Well, you haven't given a morally relevant difference between humans and other animals that would justify their exploitation, for all these other animals, but not the human being. So far, you said human, though, but then when I turned you hypothetically into a cat or talked about when you will no longer be on this earth, you still value humans.
You're saying hypothetical stuff.
Yeah, that's important in a debate. Yeah, Nate, hypotheticals. You are going to die, aren't you? Like I am. We are going to die.
Yeah, we are going to die.
So when you say it's never going to happen, that's not true, right?
That's not meat being turned into an animal.
Okay, well, if you don't like unrealistic hypotheticals, we already dealt with that because we went on to the hypothetical that is realistic and inevitable. We're going to die. Humans are...
Goodness gracious. Louis back, guys. Louis back. There was a big gap, Louis, where your presence wasn't here, and it was concerning.
Still going to have value even when we're no longer human, correct?
Exactly.
Exactly. So that you still haven't given a morally significant difference between humans and other animals that would justify Jeffrey Dahmering non-human animals, but not humans.
Because that is, I can't think of the right. Eating another human is morally wrong.
But you've acknowledged that eating non-human animals is morally wrong as well. You just want to carry on, right?
The thing is, we can eat animals. It is morally wrong to eat another human.
But you said earlier you know it to be wrong because you think animals deserve their rights to be respected, didn't you?
Okay, yes, I did, but there's ethical ways to kill animals.
What's the morally significant difference that leads to an ethical way to kill these animals that wouldn't in the human context?
A quick death, not torture, nothing like that.
So if I give a human a quick death, it's justified morally in your view?
No, it's not.
So what's the morally significant difference?
Again, I'm human.
Yeah, but when you die and you're not human anymore, humans will still be valuable, right? I can't then turn them into burgers, can I? Morally?
No.
No. So it's not human. It's not the fact you're human because you won't be human forever. So what is it?
You're going to die.
Yep.
You're not going to be. You're going to be a skeleton.
Yep. And I won't be human anymore. But humans will still have more, like intrinsic value, just like the non-human animals will.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna still keep on eating my meat, and it's morally wrong to eat a human.
Yeah, and it's morally wrong to eat cows, chickens, pigs because
No,
they.
it's not.
Do you think that maybe he's talking about self-fellatio, and he's just upset that she's like kink shaming him, and that's what he's talking about? Because nothing else has really made sense when he says, "I'm going to keep eating my meat." Maybe that's what he's talking about, guys. Let's just keep open minds because holy shit. Wasp, guys, wasp. Yep. Wasp right there on my light. He seems chill. We're going to let him. Okay. Yeah. So back to self-fellatio, I think that's what we were on. That's what this stream is about, right? I think so. I think this stream is about self-fellatio. Yeah, power to you. You keep eating your meat, buddy.
Said it was. Oh, so now it's not?
I'm going to keep eating my meat.
So is it morally justified to send a cow to a slaughterhouse so you can turn them into burgers?
If they're not being tortured.
If they're not being tortured. So if I don't torture a human, I quickly shoot them in the back of the head, I'm morally justified in turning them into a burger?
No, you're not.
No. So what's the morally significant difference? There must be a difference.
Because that's an animal. And
humans are animals. Humans are animals.
But they're significantly less, not that smart as humans, and I'm a human.
Not all humans are smart, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that not all humans are smart during this debate, aren't we? Aren't we? My friend, Nate?
It wouldn't be justified to kill unintelligent humans, would it?
I'm going to keep eating my meat.
Yeah, and
he's talking about self-fellatio.
Provided a justification. So when people turn around and judge you for something,
provided a justification on the reason why we really shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I can give you a justification. I can.
It's just your morals.
Yeah, my morals, and they're yours as well. You've said it's wrong, and now you're saying it isn't wrong.
Well, my morals is eating meat.
I don't think that's how morals work. Are you saying your morality? Yeah, hang on, Nate. Do you mean your morality means that it's justified in your view to eat flesh?
It's pretty distracting to have a big light to the right with a giant wasp just messing with his antennae, cleaning his thorax. What are they called? Leg. Oh man, sorry if that is right there. Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see? Hang on, I'll take the. Oh, he climbed over it. Climbed over it. There it is. Just so y'all didn't think I was lying to you, he climbed over. Okay, that's better. Of course, now I don't see him. Which, is that better or worse? It's freezing cold. It is in the 20s. So if I put him out the window, he would die, probably. So yeah, he can't go out there.
It is justified,
Okay.
especially if yep.
So cow flesh, yes.
Yes.
Human flesh, no.
No.
Dog flesh?
I won't eat a dog.
Is it morally justified if I go turn a dog into a burger?
No.
They're not human, though.
But the thing is, that's because I live in America, but other places will say different because there are places that eat dog.
Oh no,
I live in America.
Yeah, so it's like culturally, if you live somewhere, it then becomes, you get off the plane and then boom, it's justified to do different things.
I'm not saying I'm going to eat it, but in their culture, yes, to them it is justified.
So cultures that throw people into execution because they're gay or commit FGM, they're fine and justified because it happens in
Don't say FGM. We know he doesn't know what that is. You have to say the whole thing, L. We know.
Parts of the world?
No, that's not right.
No. So can we go back and maybe change the comment you made about it being culturally permissible just because it happens somewhere?
I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. That would be a contradiction, mate.
Very good.
It's contradiction to you, but
it's just a contradiction. It can't be if you say it is and isn't the case that culture dictates morality, that is a contradiction, like textbook.
No, it's not.
Okay. No, it's not. You've defeated me in debate, Nate. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in the comment section. I look forward to your further arguments.
Okay.
Oh, and can you tell Omni King to debate me, please? I really want him to teach me a lesson.
Yeah, I will.
Wow. Okay, L. Okay, what we've concluded from this is that L is the most patient person on the planet. There is that video. Wait for it. It is doing the circle. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. All righty. Wow. All right. That was something. We can say that happened. A couple days ago, we couldn't say that happened. Now we can say that happened. Progress. Our world is progressing. All right. What is it called again? Animal Liberation. Archive. Animal Liberation stuff. All right. Let's learn some history, guys. We've already learned that humanity is hopelessly stupid. Let's see how we got to this point. We're going in order. Guys, look. This is what I'm looking at. You see this? Jesus. All right. All right. All right. Heart of the matter. Southeast Animal Liberation Day, 1984.
At 8:30 on Saturday evening, 14 beagles were stolen from a research laboratory in Bagshot. Or to put it another way, 14 handily sized, conveniently docile dogs were rescued by animal rights activists from experimental exploitation. They've all been found sympathetic, safe houses in the southeast.
Now, because Heart of the Matter is a program made by people, for people, about conflicts of conscience that people can best express, we tend to overlook the 1.5 million other species we share the planet with. But a new campaign of direct action, like the raid at the weekend that freed the beagles, has raised the whole question of animal experimentation and animal rights. At the heart of the matter, do we have the moral right, in the name of man, to do as we wish with the 13,000 dogs, the 3.5 million other laboratory animals we kill in experiments every year? Or in 100 years' time, will we look back on the whole issue of animal experimentation as a grotesque, inhuman anachronism?
I mean, the same sort of arguments were used to defend slavery. You know, the slaves had never known anything better. People mustn't.
This is the guy who coined the term speciesism, Richard Ryder. And he is still alive. He's in his 80s. And I would like to interview him, but I don't know how to reach the guy. I sent something out.
Get carried away. They mustn't be sentimental. There were very good economic reasons for carrying on slavery. In fact, it was necessary to certain sorts of production and so on. The same sort of arguments you hear today to defend the exploitation of animals.
We believe in 20 years or 30 years' time, we'll look back on vivisection on animals in the same way as we now look back on the concentration camps in Germany.
Anger has very little to do with...
Isn't it sad that we had people making perfect sense back in the 80s, and we're still here trying to argue the same point 40 years later? What's up, Shani? What's up? Isn't it sad?
Science. Science is dispassionate. Anger is an intruder in the laboratory. When the Animal Liberation League broke in on Saturday and filmed their felony, it was an act of rage against the clinical detachment of science itself. Science detached, as they see it, from responsibility, detached from decency. They were breaking the law. The scientists, they say, were breaking the moral covenant between mankind and his fellow species, between God and his creation. Or was it just a bit of sentimental vandalism in the mute name of 14 frightened beagles?
Well, from what we can ascertain...
Ask the beagles.
The
14 frightened beagles.
Who are around, or were at the time of this, for you to interact with, because they were still alive.
Well, from what we can ascertain from speaking to the vet who examined them, they were, looks like they were in the middle of a poisoning experiment, and that's borne out by the fact that some of the beagles are now still vomiting very badly, and they're salivating profusely. They're in generally a very poor condition indeed, and we're quite worried for the lives of some of them.
Is it fair to take the beagles out in the middle of an experiment when you don't know what's happened to them or what can be done to help them?
Well, it's an interesting point. The lab always says, as a result of us taking the beagles, these beagles may now die. We've now removed them, and I believe most of them will survive. It'll take them 2 or 3 days to adjust because they're no longer eating poisoned food or getting stomach tubes down their throats. And with good care, by the end of this week, they should be in better condition and beginning to get put into normal society.
That was a good example of a question that you ask, knowing the answer, knowing that the question, I hope, in the case of this journalist, that question was patently absurd. Let's hear it again.
This long point, the lab always said
in the middle of an experiment,
and we're quite worried for the lives of some of them.
Is it fair to take the beagles out in the middle of an experiment when you don't know what's happened to them or what can be done to help them?
Well, it's an interesting point. The lab always says, as a result of us taking the beagles, these beagles may now die. We've now removed them, and I believe most of them will survive. It'll take them 2 or 3 days to adjust because they're no longer eating poisoned food or getting stomach tubes down their throats. And with good care, by the end of this week, they should be in better condition and beginning to get put into normal society.
What you did was burglary. Do you think that breaking the law can in any way strengthen your cause?
Well, we're not so interested whether it's legal or illegal. What's important is whether it's right or wrong.
It's the argument of the terrorist always, though, isn't it? You know, we're not concerned about the letter of the law. We think we're right.
Well, I think Gandhi and Martin Luther King both said that there is 2 kinds of laws. There's the law of the land, which allows in this country horrific experiments, and then there's God's law or the moral law. I think the moral law says quite clearly that animals should not be subjected to these abuses.
I'm going to show you all this. I'm going to show you all this. Let me find it. Might be my first ever short. Did I post it? Here we go. Here we go. And there's this, you know, long turnstile thing that you got to go through, and I duck under the rope, and just to make the thing shorter, and then you travel all through the thing because you're this person who won't.
Yeah, walk like 200 feet out of the way just to follow the rules.
Yeah. So how does a guy that won't break the rules at an airport end up going into factory farms and rescuing animals?
There's the laws of man and there's the laws of the universe. And the laws of man are fallible. People make lots of mistakes. You look at human history, and I mean, these are companies that they're lawless companies. They break the laws left and right. They use the power they have, not just to abuse animals, but to distort and destroy the most fundamental principles of the nation. You know, things like the First Amendment, things like equal protection of the law, the Due Process Clause, the fundamental right that all persons have to life and liberty. When the Constitution says every person has a fundamental right to life and liberty, that means every person. That means a black person, it means a Chinese person, it means a Jewish person, it means a white person. And guess what? It means a dog or a cat too. Because under the law, there's two concepts, persons and property. You cannot even come close to convincing or persuading anyone with a straight face that a dog is no different than a piece of garbage.
Just thought I'd show that because Wayne said the exact same thing that he did.
You know, we're not concerned about the letter of the law. We think we're right.
Well, I think Gandhi and Martin Luther King both said that there is two kinds of laws. There's the law of the land, which allows in this country horrific experiments, and then there's God's law or the moral law. I think the moral law says quite clearly that animals should not be subjected to these abuses in laboratories.
The same group broke into the research laboratories of the Royal College of Surgeons over the August bank holiday. This time, no animals were seized. The raiders' aim was to force the public to acknowledge what's being done by doctors in our name, with our money, and notionally at least for our benefit. We all know that animal experiments go on, but it's something we prefer to happen out of sight. It doesn't bear thinking about. For much the same reason fastidious meat eaters keep their distance from the slaughterhouse.
When we broke into that laboratory, we filmed very, very extensively the conditions of the dogs, and we also removed a large number of slides of monkeys and a large number of documents. That was the purpose of that raid. The Royal College of Surgeons, one would expect to have a high quality of surgery. With the dogs, they're actually sewing the dogs up so badly, by their own admission in their incident reports, that the sutures are coming undone, pus is exuding. They're sewing up so badly that they're getting gangrene, having to be put down. The kennel conditions themselves are appalling. Additionally, of course, these dogs would seem to be ex-pets. There's Afghans, boxers, Old English sheepdogs. There isn't any beagles at the Royal College of Surgeons on our raid. The conditions of the monkeys is quite frankly horrific. The monkeys are in very small cages, and the reports of the Royal College themselves, which we removed, show abysmal cruelty.
Monkeys? Yeah. The monkey that over there. Over there. Up there. Get there. In there. Everyone out! Sorry, get out! Get out! Sorry?
Quite frankly.
Wow. That was an intense video. Catch up on the chat here. Brian climbed up on the leaderboard. Maximally Sophist is here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Maximally Sophist. Hey, got a book for you. maximally soft. It's true, guys. It's true. The trolls have arrived.
From a body of such high prestige, the condition of the animals and their experiments.
By the way, maximally sophist, I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. You don't get anything past me. Some people in here might even know who you are, but I sure do.
A great deal to be desired. We were appalled, and for the first time ever, there looks like a possibility, a very strong possibility, that we will actually take the Royal College of Surgeons to court on a number of points of animal cruelty. And at the moment, we're in the process of compiling a prosecution. For the first time ever, this prosecution could only be possible because we broke the law. We took the initiative to go into that laboratory. The police, the courts, the government, and the establishment have done absolutely nothing at all for animals in 108 years.
The liberationists stole these slides of experimental monkeys. This one bears the tattoo crap on its forehead, an indication, they say, of an insensitivity inseparable from the process of animal research. No one from the Royal College of Surgeons was prepared to appear on a program which included lawbreakers, we were informed this afternoon. They would rely on the Research Defence Society to represent their point of view. The Royal College was interested to hear from Heart of the Matter that a prosecution was imminent and would answer all allegations in the proper place in court. In the particular case of the tattooed monkey, crap is in fact craps and is a scientific identity coding. No offense, it seems, was intended to the animal.
Sure.
This mouse.
There was another video that I posted with Wayne. I won't show it here. Actually, it's posted to his channel. It's one of the few videos that I made on Wayne's channel, and it was taken from our interview where he talked about how when he was in Ridgeland Farms that they saw name tags for some of the dogs that had insulting names like Klutz on them because the dog was klutzy because they were being experimented on and were, according to Wayne, dog was falling around and we had the nerve to like mock them. So yeah, I'm sure crap was not intended. I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they weren't just joking at the expense of that monkey.
Is more severely affected apparently, although it lives to an old age. If you pick it up, you might be able to see that it actually has a tremor.
Professor Tim
Now the
Biscoe
wasp is on that light.
uses mice to investigate the mysteries and mechanics of the nervous system.
It's called spastic.
These mice are deliberately bred as spastics.
I have an idea. The wasp is attracted to the heat of the light. I'm going to deal with this. Oh boy, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay. I turn on some other lights for him. Maybe he can go find those lights. But he's still there. More than 2 frames a second. Is the stream fucking up again? It might be. It might be. By the way, I'm going to try again. I tried last night to play Mirror's Edge on stream, and I had horrible tech issues. I hope, caused by the awful weather we're having, but I don't know. Let's just hope that's the reason. I'm going to try again tonight, later. But we'll see. There was also another issue. Yeah. I know, Nilf. We have fun. We have fun.
Issue may reveal clues to the causes and cures of disorders like Parkinson's disease.
The normal course for tremor rigidity in man.
Professor Biscoe is a member of the Research Defense Society, which upholds the case for animal experiments. Like many scientists, Professor Biscoe is concerned at the growing militancy of the animal lobby.
The concern that scientists have, and I suspect many people have, is over the violence that has been introduced into this debate in recent years. That is, I don't mean verbal violence, which we can all put up with, but physical violence, where houses are attacked, people are attacked, and cars and so on.
I think that their actions are profoundly antisocial. I mean, basically, they believe that animals shouldn't be used in any context whatsoever. And they back up those beliefs by a series of unlawful acts of increasing boldness. Now, it seems to me that when you hold such an extreme set of beliefs and you back those up with unlawful acts of vandalism, threats, and other things of that kind, I mean, these people are really, I think, rationalizing their own predisposition to hooliganism, because plainly no government could concede what they are asking.
You have to say of the Animal Liberation Front, they have not, to my knowledge, hurt any human beings or animals. They've only damaged property. You have to say that, rightly or wrongly, where you've got a government which doesn't seem to listen to ordinary democratic forms of protest, that they are effective in making people listen to them. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be in a democracy that you have to have militant forms of activity before governments begin to listen. But that's the way it is.
I think we're making a distinction here.
By the way, if you read some of this history, and you'll see that there are examples where it was the law enforcement who goaded activists into violent actions. Or in some cases, it was the people themselves staging violence, staging vandalism. So, yeah. And even then, the ALF never hurt anyone. Even then.
Violence to man and violence to animals, and you're coming to the essential, crucial moral argument.
You can read the story about Rod Coronado, and oh man, my brain's not there today. I must be tired or something. What the fuck? Operation Bite Back. Operation Bite Back. Great read. And they talk about how two activists were car bombed. They were environmental activists, and they what was the story? I think that they were car bombed, and then law enforcement tried to say that they were the ones with the bomb, and it just went off. So just keep that in mind. Read that book, by the way, Operation Bite Back.
That is to say.
And by the way, speaking of Rod Coronado's story, Rod has put out a brand new book that is available wherever you buy books. I have not read it yet, but I intend to. It's called Memories of Freedom, written by himself.
Place man first in your scheme of things or not. And the scientists and the doctors, which I happen to be one, place man first and are unequivocal about that choice.
Now, I have certain information and certain contacts which allow us access, if not purchase of, obviously it's better if we don't purchase, but access to a fire engine of all things. We can have
The Nottingham cell of the Animal Liberation Front, exploring what they insist is merely a hypothetical scheme to release laboratory animals at the University Medical Centre by means of a bogus fire alarm.
ourselves and the actions of these other people.
They will go and they'll all meet and there'll be somebody to take registration. All these places have them.
That's right, and that's going to take
they will
time,
go,
and that's when
we're
lead.
in. We're in.
What about taking some people through? There's a key that actually you have to get to go.
That's
up to
right, I believe
level
there
L.
is. Now, there should be 2 transits there with 4 people in each transit.
The front is dedicated to a strategy of direct action.
Well, we're at war. I don't think the public quite realises the strength of our feeling that we are determined to stop animal abuse, and we will stop it. By hook or by crook, it's going to end.
We've written to MPs, gone on peaceful demonstrations. Well, no avail, to no avail. So what's left to us? We've got to do something. I mean, how can true good come out of evil?
I can't honestly say, speaking for myself, that I respect that law, and I couldn't abide by that law. And under those circumstances, I would feel at liberty to do all within my power to prevent the subjugation of that species, whatever species that may be.
I believe the law that authorises vivisection isn't God's law at all. As a Christian, I feel that very strongly. Just as the law in Germany that authorised the torture and death of the Jews wasn't God's law at all. And I personally couldn't ever harm a scientist, but I see no wrong at all in rescuing. I don't call it stealing. Rescuing animals and liberating them from the awful suffering they go through.
Today's animal activists take their argument beyond the eternal and eternally weary argument about mere vivisection. Animals, they believe, have rights that go beyond the status granted them by man to act as incarcerated clowns in the zoo or locomotive meals on the farm. Past legislation, they argue, such as the banning of bear baiting, was enacted not for the sake of animals, but to preserve the civilized manners of man. We have laws against cruelty because of what cruelty does to us, not to them. Morally speaking, society argues, you can't have rights without duties, and animals have no duties. Morally speaking, say the liberationists, man is only a fellow voyager.
What? Say that again?
Duties, not man. We have laws against cruelty because of what cruelty does to us, not to them. Morally speaking, society argues, you can't have rights without duties, and
Morally speaking, society says you can't have rights without duties, and animals don't have duties. First of all, society is not a what? Okay. I get what he's trying to say, but that was just a weird comment, wasn't it? When did society say that? And by society, he means like the majority of people in society. I've never heard that before. You can't have rights without duties. They said duty guy. Sabby, are you having... Is it just Sabby struggling? How's this? I think it may be my internet or something. The weather. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's very frustrating, though. Guys, hit that like and subscribe while you're listening to me, if you can hear me. I really need to grow this channel badly. Also, if you're able to donate, please do donate. I got a notification from YouTube today that I still, for some reason, have not met my $100 threshold to get paid, because nice people like Savvy and Brian and Felix have donated to this channel through super chats and through other means, and I don't get paid unless I hit $100. And I got a notification that I had not, even though I thought I had. I really thought I had. I don't know. It may be on a delay. It's like maybe I got these donations before the cutoff for this time period or something. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Morally speaking, say the liberationists, man is only a fellow voyager with the other creatures in the odyssey of evolution and should have the humility to acknowledge the fact. Speciesism is as odious as any other prejudice.
You're talking from a human viewpoint, and we're talking about life as a general concept. We're not talking about humans, we're not talking about species, whether it be monkey, whether it be dog, whether it be cat, or so on and so forth.
I've got to talk from a human viewpoint, because I'm a human. I don't know what it's like to be a dog.
That's very true. I mean, you don't know what it's like to be a dog, but at the same time, you understand pain. You understand what the implications of that pain are. If you were to be poisoned, if you were to be shot, if you were to be erased.
W's for Honest Doubter. Thank you so much, Honest Doubter. Whoa, Tess. Tess, that should have done it. Okay, I'm going to look. I don't want to say specifics of what I earned because I feel like I don't. But that should put me over 100. That should do it. Now, I'm going to come back to y'all and I'll let you know if it changes tomorrow or if it takes like a month or what. I have no idea. Tess, you rock. Tess is awesome. Honest Doubter, you're awesome.
Radiated, you could understand the implications of whatever that may be. And in this particular case, to ask another species to do your suffering for you is wholly immoral.
I don't see that talking about creatures from other species is any different from talking about other individuals of our own species. I think we ought to consider our moral duties, or if you like, the rights of the individuals in both cases.
But I have no moral common ground as a human being.
Evil Steven just subbed today? Whoa, but I've seen your name before. That just goes to show some people are watching and commenting and have not hit that subscribe button. Y'all, hit that subscribe button. Richard Ryder.
Another city. And in this
Sorry, let me go
particular
back a little bit. I was really excited.
What it's talking, we're not
what
talking
Tess
about
did,
speak,
and
talking
Honest
about
Doubter did.
life as a general concept. We're not talking about humans. We're not talking about species, whether it be monkey, whether it be dog, whether it be cat, or so on and so forth.
I've got to talk from a human viewpoint, because I'm a human. I don't know what it's like to be a dog.
That's very true. I mean, you don't know what it's like to be a dog, but at the same time, you understand pain. You understand what the implications of that pain are. If you were to be poisoned, if you were to be shot, if you were to be irradiated, you could understand the implications of whatever that may be. And in this particular case, to ask another species to do your suffering for you is wholly immoral.
I don't see that talking about creatures from other species is any different from talking about other individuals of our own species. I think we ought to consider our moral duties, or if you like, the rights of the individuals in both cases.
But I have no moral common ground as a human being with a rabbit, do I?
I'm sure you do. The rabbit may not be as intelligent as you. It may not be able to speak your language, although it may be able to speak a certain sort of language. But the evidence, the scientific evidence, is increasing that rabbits and other non-humans suffer in the same sort of way that we do. Now, years ago, Jeremy Bentham, the philosopher, said this. He said, it doesn't matter really how intelligent an animal is. The important thing is that it suffers in the same sort of way.
I think man is superior.
And I think what really, set Jeremy Bentham apart was that he was named Jeremy. And we all know that if you're named Jeremy, you have a leg up. You start the world with a bit of awesomeness that other people can't lay claim to.
That is the starting point of the whole moral position that I would adopt. And I think that the proper description of that is humanism. The word speciesism is a horrid neologism, which is unnecessary, and it conceals the reality, namely that we place people first in our consideration.
No. In fact, that addresses the exact point that we place humans first. Speciesism is a critique of that. Again, another scientist guy who just kind of can't think.
Of the natural world.
No room for all things bright and beautiful. The Lord God made them all, and so on.
That's not to contradict the notion of humanism. The question of whether the Lord God made them all or not is open to debate, perhaps on this very program, but that depends on the religious view you adopt. And indeed, if you do adopt a particular religious ethic, then of course these questions can be resolved for you far more easily. I think what the moral philosophy can do for you is give coherence to your particular view, but it can't ultimately tell you which view is right or wrong, because I don't believe that philosophers are in a position to make that decision.
We've now got, to a certain
That's
degree,
kind
human
of their whole purpose. Okay.
rights, at least they're established in constitutions. There's women's rights, gay rights, rights of black people, etc. And really, animal rights is the logical logical continuation. The point we think is that there is no reason why we should stop at humans, because obviously animals have different aesthetic needs, and we don't want, one puppy, one vote kind of thing. What we're saying is animals do have the right to live in freedom, to live free from exploitation, free from pain, free from suffering. That's really, we're looking for all the rights that really they should have had were it not for humans.
Why don't we have this anymore, where we have like 18-minute segments really getting to the heart of, the animal rights debate? You don't see this anymore.
The essential difference is whether you accept that continuum from humans leading into other species as well. I mean, you can understand a lot of people think that humans are different from animals.
Well, humans are different from animals. We're not claiming otherwise, but we don't think a difference itself justifies a moral prejudice.
Number 2 and 4, the control animals, are showing marked coarse tremors. Number 4 there is just teetering on the edge of a small convulsion.
The debate on animal experiments is only marginal to today's animal activists, because for them, there is no debate. It's obscene and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yet it's worth examining, if only to try to test the plausibility of the new doctrine of animal rights. Few would deny the medical benefits for Homo sapiens and brute creation that history has disentangled from the entrails of suffering scientific animals. But today it's argued that we've learnt enough, that any further knowledge gleaned from experiments would be superfluous.
Most of it already was superfluous. Yeah.
Scientists may claim we're standing on the edge of unimaginable discoveries, but is medicine merely pleasuring itself in the gratuitous indulgence of its own curiosity?
Ooh, spicy.
Drinking up suffering scientific animals. But today it's argued that we've learnt enough, that any further knowledge gleaned from experiments would be superfluous. Scientists may claim we're standing on the edge of unimaginable discoveries, but is medicine merely pleasuring itself in the gratuitous indulgence of its own curiosity?
Is medicine jacking off? That's what he just asked. Medicine jacking off. How obscene. About medicine, You invented a blue pill for medicine and it can't stop itself. Well.
The whole monument of modern medicine is not available without animal experiment as it's the base on which it stands. If you take the discovery of insulin, which is a classic example, often quoted, of course, it rests on a huge body of knowledge, some of which was derived in this institution as a starting point for the development of ideas about insulin. Now, that is a substance that gives 50 or 60 years of life to people with diabetes. And most of us will know people with diabetes who are insulin dependent. And that's a miraculous thing. And if you ask a diabetic, does he think animal experiments are a good thing or not? I should have thought it was fairly clear what the answer would be.
Wonder if we could ask a diabetic if animals experiments are a good thing. If only we knew a diabetic. Oh yeah, we know Zoe Rosenberg, who is being sentenced on December 3rd for rescuing 4 chickens. from a slaughterhouse. Now, I bet Zoe would have a lot to say to this guy 40 years ago, 41, 2 years ago.
You don't think that could have been achieved without animal experiments?
Absolutely no way it could have been achieved. For example, supposing the plague were to recur in this country as it did hundreds of years ago.
Bubonic plague or
Yes.
something like that.
What do you propose to do about it? Are you going to say, well, we'll do nothing about that because the experiments that might be required to seek a cure might be painful? Or are you going to say, well, we will allow these experiments because we regard the human suffering as far outweighing the possible cause of pain, the possible pain in the animal kingdom?
What's really interesting about this guy's logic is that he's saying that in the event of a plague where people are already dying, that you wouldn't have people who would take the experimental drug even though they know they're about to die. So you have to do it to innocent animals instead. Dude, again, what is it with science guys? What is it with guys who wear a suit and it's like they think that they are smarter than everybody?
Is that
whoa? What just happened?
Weighing the possible cause of pain, the possible pain in the animal kingdom. It's that.
What did he say? Whatever it was too hot for YouTube. We still got some time. I don't think we're going to get it back, but we still have some time. Yes, that ain't coming back. All right. That guy was like, fuck this guy. I can't see any more of this. Here's that video. All right, guys. This wasp, I was going to have to go in an hour's time. But this wasp is so distracting. He's got a big old stinger and he's crawling around on my light. And I don't want to be stung. And so what I'm going to do is in the stream, I will be back. It's going to take a while because I have a meeting in about an hour. So we're talking a couple hours from now when I come back and attempt a gaming stream. I have a bad feeling it's not going to work because some people are having trouble with my stream right now. So, yes. So we'll see. Yep. Got a meeting. Guys, thanks for joining. I appreciate all of you. And a special thanks to Tess and Honest Doubter for donating. That is really appreciated. And everybody who has donated and everybody who hit like and sub. Be my subs, guys. Please sub to me. I'm not the kind of Dom who's going to be abusive, okay? I am a benevolent Dom. All right? I'm not a sadist. So it's safe to sub. It's safe to sub to me. And yes, you can lick the stream if you wish, like Maximally did. Honest Doubter only tops. Okay, I get it. I get that. We might clash a little, but it's hard to come up with witty things to say. Well, there's a freaking wasp with a giant stinger crawling around on my light, guys. So don't hold me to my usual high standard. All right. Okay, I'm going to take off. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll be back in a few hours to try a stream on parkouring around a futuristic cyberpunk city. In other words, Mirror's Edge. Take care. Hang on. This says go live. Why does it say go live when I'm already live? Everything's changed. My stream literally says go live. Like I usually where it says end stream, it says go live. As though I'm not live. What do I do now? That means, what does that mean? How do I end the stream? Oh man, they're so glitchy right now. It says you are live. It says go live. What if I hit go live? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Now I'm live. Wait. Now it says in stream and now it shows 20 viewers. You know what, guys? You know what? 20 is a lot. 20 is a lot. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue. Because I have an hour. Let's find some more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the mixed signals, guys. I'm sorry for that. But 20 is a lot for me, okay? I don't often get that many viewers. So the people have spoken, and we must continue. By the way, that was a good video, wasn't it? Okay, let's not go super long. A lot of these are quite long. Thinking like, well, let's go with this one. Close Up North. Animal rights militancy. Because I think that's John Curtin. I think that's a young John Curtin. I could be wrong. That may not be. I'm going to see if I can move this. I'm going to use the Too Many Trolls book. Just give me a second. By the way, when you see an insect, the best thing is not to move them because you will often injure them. But I'm going to do it extremely gently and try to move this wasp really gently. Okay. It worked. Okay. It worked. It worked. No more wasp. I think because it's cold, he's a little lethargic anyway. He was a real slow moving guy. He's probably not doing too well. Probably not doing too well, to be honest. Louie's back. It's interesting. Hey, Louie, I got a question for you. I've noticed something. It's kind of like when you're here, Maximally Sophist isn't here. But when Maximally Sophist is here, you're not here. I'm just wondering if there's some kind of connection there. So strange. So strange.
Good evening. Never
Good
before
evening,
has the
Judith.
campaign for animal rights been
Good evening, Judith Stamper.
so active in our region. From the ports of Humberside to the high streets of North Yorkshire, the last few months have seen demonstrations and arrests, arson attacks and letter bombs. 3 issues.
You know what? Maybe my stream was like 40 people for all I know. And then I was like, good night. 20 people left. And now here we are.
Above all, the transportation of live animals, blood sports, and medical research have proved most controversial. But does the response of animal rights groups amount to welfare or warfare? Well, tonight in the studio, we have representatives of 2 groups in the firing line. Stock farmer Bill Crystal, who's lost 1/3 of his business because of the ferry ban. But blood sports and medical research have proved most controversial. But does the response of animal rights groups amount to welfare or warfare? Well, tonight in the studio we have
welfare or warfare. This guy's a meme. This guy is lucky that he doesn't live in meme times. I mean, maybe he does. Could still be alive. Let's meme him. God, there's another wasp. He's over there.
Representatives of two
Far
groups
away.
in the firing line. Stock farmer Bill Crystal, who's lost a third of his business because of the ferry ban. And
look at this guy. Very meme-worthy.
Mike Rigglesford from the Research for Health.
Also meme-worthy.
Charities group. Also joining us, two activists in the animal rights movement. Patrick Rattigan, a director of the British Union for the Abolition of Vivisection, and Eric Staples of the National Hunt Saboteurs.
Eric Staples. That looked kind of like John Curtin back in the day.
But first, Peter Lugg charts the development of the welfare lobby's growing militancy.
Maybe I'm wrong.
The piece phoned me at about 1:30 this morning. I came down here within about 10-15 minutes. And it was well underway by then. To come around and see your main livelihood completely up in flames with famine inside, and just shattering. I was thinking about my family, how we're going to survive, my employees, the people upstairs. It's just a nightmare, really.
Yeah, we haven't seen the last of Maximally Sophist, I'm pretty sure. The thing is about Maximally, he's there. He's just waiting for Louis to go away.
No one claimed responsibility for the North Yorkshire firebombs. Police assume they were the work of a militant animal rights group.
Probably what happened is Louis kicked that guy's ass, and so he doesn't come around while Louis is here.
As the IRA ceasefire continues to hold, violence perpetrated in the name of animals is regarded as the major terrorist threat in mainland Britain. The animal rights movement has always been radical, with some groups prepared to break the law. But the emergence of individuals willing to endanger human life, this restaurant was serving customers an hour before the bomb, is a phenomenon of the 90s and a development baffling to the public.
I'm a great believer in people being able to express their own views and have their own feelings and to put them across in a logical and sensible fashion. I find this sort of level attack utterly cowardly and potentially lethal to human beings. Anybody who puts a human being after an animal has got a serious problem.
When you get her home, just make sure she's warm and comfortable and just offer her water.
For more than a century and a half, the RSPCA has been the world's leading and best-known animal welfare organization.
Ooh, that changed.
And then from tomorrow morning, just let her have short walks on the lead for about a week. Okay?
As here in Leeds, the society runs homes, clinics and hospitals nationwide.
Thank you. We have here the kennels and the cattery. We no longer take stray dogs, but we will take dogs that are unwanted by their owners. We will take welfare animals through social services where people are in hospital and unable.
We will take welfare animals? What is that?
To look after them. And then further facilities for boarding, where people, like any private kennels, people go on holiday, they can board their animals here for us.
The RSPCA's guiding principle is to promote kindness and prevent cruelty to animals by all legal means. Last year alone, the RSPCA secured more than 3,000 convictions, without threat, without trespass, and without violence.
Right, here's Benji.
Oh, my little sweetheart.
There you go.
Oh,
Right.
God love you.
You need to come back to clinic on Monday.
But the dilemma for our established welfare organisations is that the slow rate of progress in winning reform, despite vigorous campaigns on issues like hunting and medical research, has led to internal frustrations among members.
The RSPCA has had in the past certain people that may have been considered to be militant, and they have even formed offshoot societies that are militant, but that has never ever been the RSPCA's attitude towards better animal welfare.
We use the same tactics wherever. We imitate the huntsman, as in his voice calls, his horn calls. We use scent dullers to mask the scent of the fox. We use whips to crack in front of the hounds. We've never hit a hound with a whip to send the hounds back. That's a recognised tactic of the huntsman. We'd also possibly lay false trails. And also, if they put a fox to earth, we'd occupy that earth.
The activities of the Hunt Saboteurs, a splinter group of the League Against Cruel Sports, have been highly provocative and have brought members into direct, often violent conflict with the hunting fraternity.
It was a dead debate in the early 60s. People went out fox hunting and some people disliked it, and that was it. And a group of young men and women decided that it was about time to reawaken the argument.
So the conventional groups, the RSPCAs,
in the League,
were ineffective?
They weren't ineffective, but they are into a slow campaigning process. They wait for laws to change. They wait for governments to change. These people...
That's democracy, isn't it?
That is democracy, but then again, democracy is a very slow process sometimes, and a democracy occasionally needs a kick up the rear to awaken it to what is going on.
Kick up the rear.
The sight of young people willing to risk arrest and injury has led mainstream groups to sharpen their campaign. In the video age, the propaganda battle has become ever more sophisticated. Material like this arrives on news desks every day of the week. In this case, the British Field Sports Society paints an idyllic traditional picture of fox hunting. While viewed from the perspective of the League Against Cruel Sports, hunting is portrayed as...
So for my younger viewers,
the blood viewed from the Field Sports Society...
What this is, that's called a VHS.
Paints an idyllic traditional picture of fox hunting. While viewed from the perspective of the League Against Cruel Sports, hunting is portrayed as the bloodlust recreation of a rural minority. The same sequence appears in both films. Used in this case by the BFSS to back their claim that the fox is killed cleanly,
It's instantaneous.
and by the League to suggest that it isn't.
This clearly shows the fox wasn't killed cleanly by a single bite to the neck.
Oh, sorry.
Medical research...
Your warning. Who's deleted? Dr. Ellsworth Wareham, 98 years old, vegan. Okay. Gotcha.
Provides the British Union for the Abolition of Vivisection with similarly shocking source material. These sequences, filmed by a supporter working undercover at a reception centre for rhesus monkeys, are being shown to school children in Bradford. The commentary is by a well-known TV personality.
This monkey's teeth were battered during its capture, and its mouth is still bleeding. Remember, this is the south of England, near Brighton.
Okay, as you can see, the primate trade is a brutal business. I do something like 2 or 3 school talks a month, and the rest are universities and colleges. But we believe it's very important work because the whole animal rights issue is, according to opinion polls, is one of the most important issues to students of this age.
Is this just propaganda being fed to young minds?
Well, it's reality. It's called reality. 3 million animals suffer terribly in Britain's laboratories. What do you want me to do? Just play that down? I can't, in all honesty, do that. I mean, we don't go out of our way deliberately to shock. Certainly not the younger school children, because it's counterproductive.
But the BUAV, too, now faces a split in its ranks. While the leadership favours a high-profile crusade fronted by celebrities and MPs, some members are now demanding a campaign aimed directly against research establishments, an area which militant groups have already targeted. In the 70s and 80s, laboratory break-ins and acts of arson by members of the Animal Liberation Front took the animal rights movement well beyond the law. The economic activities of all so-called abusers were now considered legitimate targets. Today, the last public face in the militant animal rights movement is ALF spokesman Robin Webb.
The aims and objectives of the ALF is to have a world without abuse or exploitation of any species whatsoever, either human or non-human. It's always used arson as a tactic and always had a policy not to endanger life of any kind. Anyone who's compassionate enough, who's climbed over a wall to rescue a rabbit from a hutch where it's been neglected, could claim it as the ALF. It's the general public who are the ALF. They are the compassionate commandos, the ones who care enough to do something on behalf of animals.
But arsonists who claim their devices threaten property alone draw only contempt from police officers in North Yorkshire called in to investigate their crimes.
Whoever placed this device showed a total disregard for human life, and it was a grave risk, not only to the emergency services, but also to members of the public. When you look at Lindsley's shop on Cheltenham Parade,
They could claim it as the ALF. It's the general public who harmed. Anyone who's compassionate enough, who's climbed.
I was looking up Robin Webb because I was curious, you know, as someone who puts themselves in a press position for the ALF. It's putting yourself out there. So I was just looking to see what has ended up happening with Robin. He's 79 or 80 years old right now. English animal rights activist, a former member of the ruling council of the RSPCA and former director of Animal Aid. A British court ruled in 2006 that Webb was a central and pivotal figure in the ALF. Since October 1991, Webb has run the British Animal Liberation Press Office, which releases material to the media on behalf of activists operating as the ALF, the Animal Rights Militia, and the Justice Department. He said that his policy as press officer is never to criticize any action, whatever it may be, so long as it has been undertaken with the sincere intention of furthering animal liberation. This has led to criticism that Webb has appeared to condone acts of violence. Doesn't appear he did prison time.
Climbed over a wall to rescue a rabbit from a hutch where it's been neglected, could claim it as the ALF. It's the general public who are the ALF. They are the compassionate commandos, the ones who care enough to do something on behalf of animals.
But arsonists who claim their devices threaten property alone draw only contempt from police officers in North Yorkshire called in to investigate their crimes.
Whoever placed this device showed a total disregard for human life, and it was a grave risk, not only to the emergency services, but also to members of the public. When you look at Lindsley's shop on Cheltenham Parade, I mean, the shop itself contained live ammunition that was going off while our services were trying to put the fire out. Above the premises, there are residential premises where people were actually asleep.
I've seen literature like the magazine that's by you with ALF on the cover, which actually includes bomb-making instructions.
Well, this isn't produced by the Animal Liberation Front Press Office or the supporters group or any bona fide organisation of that nature.
But it's titled ALF newsletter.
Yes, no, bomb-making instructions, instructions on how to do it, if you like, are not produced by the supporters group or the press office. These are produced by individual activists anonymously, showing people how to make not bombs but incendiary devices. These aren't things that actually explode, go bang to harm people.
Beyond the ALF, animal militancy disintegrates into a secret network of small factions and private individuals. A Home Office unit based at New Scotland Yard holds the names of 800 groups on an Animal Rights National Index. Two of those, the Animal Rights Militia and the Justice Department, are suspected of being involved in the current bombing campaign.
Live transport.
Throughout this winter and even this week, the transportation of live animals issue has attracted the full force of animal rights indignation. High-profile campaigning by moderate groups has been backed up by the direct action of young people.
Jill Phipps was killed by a truck, or as it's called in the UK, I think a lorry, protesting live export. And where's the indignation for the killing of a young activist, you don't see it.
Now ready to break.
They're ready to call animal rights activists terrorists who haven't harmed a soul.
The bows of cargo boats in flimsy inflatable dinghies. Behind them, the covert threats of extremists, the arson attacks on hauliers, the letter bombs to ferry companies. Today, the transportation of calves and sheep to the continent from the north of England has effectively been stopped. The final route, an air bridge from Humberside Airport, abandoned last November.
We don't live in a vacuum. We are part of a community, and we have to take recognition of what the community says. It's not been a nice time, to be honest. It's been quite hard to get through. It's had an effect on my family, obviously. But whilst it is sensitive and emotive, I don't think anybody could condone threats to my staff, to myself, bomb threats that we've received, threats of razor blades in letters for people opening the mail in the morning, things like that.
So how has it come to this? Have we capitulated to terrorism? And if so, who is to blame? Many point the finger at politicians and the failure of Parliament to deliver legislation in tune with public opinion. The Lincolnshire MP, Sir Richard Boddy, is the most successful animal welfare campaigner inside the House of Commons.
What would you say to young activists who say, this process is just too slow? I've got to get out there. I've got to stand in front of the hounds. I've even got to firebomb shops.
Well, up to a point, I'd agree with them. I think they're mistaken over hunting. But over vivisection, I can understand their frustration. I share it entirely. But after all, when you are introduced...
Okay. So this is, according to whoever produced this video, this is the most effective guy speaking for animals, I guess, campaigning for animals within the parliament, I guess. And he's a speciesist. He doesn't agree with hunt sab.
Using a lawyer.
What would you say to young activists who say, this process is just...
Which, by the way, it's kind of an unfair question, because you ask him, what about people who do hunt sabs? And then what about people who do arson in the same year? You know, maybe he has very different views about those two things. So maybe you should ask one and then the other.
It's too slow. I've got to get out there. I've got to stand in front of the hounds. I've even got to firebomb shops.
Well, up to a point, I'd agree with them. I think they're mistaken over hunting. But over vivisection, I can understand their frustration. I share it entirely. But after all, when you are introducing a law, you are introducing a crime. And you're saying to people, what you've been doing up to now has been lawful, but from now on, you're going to be a criminal if you continue to do it. Now, I think if you're going to say that to any group of your fellow citizens, you've got to prove your case and show that it is indeed a criminal and immoral act that has been done legitimately up to now.
For Barry Davis, firebombed out of business and branded an abuser, the
didn't really say much, did it?
Struggle to re-establish himself has already begun. Finding new premises is proving difficult. Suddenly, fishing tackle and gun dealers are considered undesirable tenants.
I feel as I've been judged, tried and sentenced without any form of recourse to argument or sensibility, and I find it most difficult to accept. But I don't find that what they've done is any form of expression at all. It's a pure act of revenge and terrorism. I regard these people as being cowards. They've carried out an illegal act without any reference to myself or my customers or my staff at all. What they have done is illegal. What I am doing and what I intend to continue doing is legal.
Definitely the animal rights movement, full of cowards, definitely.
Okay, well, if I can turn first of all to Patrick Rattigan. I know your organisation, your particular organisation, doesn't believe in violent means of protesting and campaigning, but do you sense a tangible shift in general towards direct action and more violent means?
In general, I think the frustration has built up to a point whereby some people who wouldn't have taken direct action before are doing now. The BUAV, of course, has no part in any sort of ALF activity whatsoever. So I have to make that clear to start with. But there is a frustration that's built up because of the message is not getting across. It's not getting across through the mass communications media. It's not getting through to the politicians. And there is a consciousness level rising all the time in the animal rights movement, which is becoming more and more angry.
Do you feel threatened yourself, Bill Crystal? Because I know you've lost a lot of your business because of the ferry ban.
It is a threat when people will not allow a legitimate trade. It's not as if the animals were being subject to pressure or terrorized or ill-treated. They aren't.
Okay.
Let's stick with that.
Terrorism, Eric Staples. I know you're not involved.
Eric. Look at Eric. Eric is all of us right now. I like that I caught it with his eyes half closed. That's how I feel right now. Hey, Eric.
The ferry ban.
Deal with this.
It is a threat when people will not allow a legitimate trade. It's not as if the animals were being subject to pressure or terrorized or ill-treated. They aren't.
Okay. Now, terrorism, Eric Staples. I know you're not involved in that, but I think you would agree that on occasion you go to the borderline when you put yourself between the fox and the hounds. You provoke incidents. How far are you prepared to go on behalf of animals?
Hunt Saboteur Association is a non-violent direct action movement. It has been in its 30 years. We have never gone out there with the intention of attacking or injuring or fighting with anybody.
I realise that, but there have been incidents.
The violence has always come from their side.
Well, there's a dispute about that.
Right, whatever. I can give you
both sides
statistics
blame each
about
other.
them.
What I'm trying to say to you is, how far down the line would you go to protect your fox?
Myself, personally, I will continue to do what I've done for the last 8 years. I will lawfully and peacefully protest against blood sports. And, you know, if a government brings in a draconian law to make my lawful, peaceful protest illegal, then I will continue.
But we've seen on the film people prepared to put animal lives before human lives. People at home may say, that's balmy, I can't even understand it, begin to understand it. Can you give us some insight into the way people who do that might feel?
I don't necessarily think that is true. I think people who are driven to what is deemed acts of terrorism come from a very long journey before they could ever think about that sort of action. The frustration, the day-to-day abuse of animals, the genocidal destruction of animals. No human person has ever been killed or injured by an act claimed by a legitimate animal rights organisation or even some of the fringe groups.
Mike Rugglesford, you wanted to come in there?
Well, in Bristol a few years back, we saw part of the hand blown off a child in a pushchair as the terrorists attempted to blow up a medical researcher. We've seen these firebomb attacks, and we've seen intimidation, break-ins in hospitals. We have charity shops where people are coming in and spitting at the volunteer ladies who work in them. We've seen all sorts of problems like that. If you're going to put a firebomb somewhere, even if you've made sure that the building's empty, you're putting the firemen's lives at risk. Also, we saw the RSPCA there running an animal hospital using drugs and other treatments to treat those animals that have been developed through work on live animals. Now, one of the people that got a bomb last Christmas was the Veterinary Diagnostic Centre in Brighton. That's where your vet or my vet would send a blood sample from your cat or dog if they didn't know what was wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical, you know. I'd like someone who had some knowledge of these incidents, you know, someone who like knew the history of all this stuff more than me. If there's anybody in the chat that knows that stuff, let me know what happened, because as I mentioned before, sometimes these have been staged things that have happened. Sometimes they have been perpetrated by law enforcement or by the animal exploitation industries themselves to paint the animal rights movement as extreme, which we know is their goal.
They'd send it to Brighton to get the vets there to try and figure it out. Now, that place got a bomb from the activists. At that point, they're dealing with lunatics.
Did it?
And the trouble is that they're stifling debate. We would like to discuss in public, but every time anybody stands up and talks about it, they get threats, they get the intimidation, and they get the violence.
Although you're not violent as an organisation, do you think it
I'm not
might be
violent as
possible?
an individual,
Do
thank
you
you very
not?
much.
Do you not think that you might attract those sort of individuals to you because every weekend and during the week sometimes you go out and it's reported in the papers that you've had violent clashes, and sometimes people are saying people like neo-Nazis or anarchists or whatever are just joining up, even if you don't want them. It's attracting them. The wrong sort of people.
If people come to us with that sort of attitude after a fortnight, they have gone because we do not provide them with a battleground for their political beliefs. That is not what we're about. We're a single issue organisation that is only concerned with saving the hunted quarry on that day.
What do you think about this, Bill Crystal?
I wish you'd address what they were saying earlier.
I believe that everyone should do what they want to do. I enjoy, or used to enjoy, an odd days.
Doesn't this guy, okay, y'all have seen that. Y'all saw that debate between Tash and Jack and that fucking farmer guy. Remember that? Y'all know the one I'm talking about? It was televised or something. Same vibes as this guy. Like exact. It's almost like they even kind of look alike.
Something they want to do. Well, I believe
the same like arrogance too.
Everyone should do what they want to do. I enjoy, or used to enjoy, an odd day's hunting. It's a means to an end.
Say again?
Or used to enjoy an odd day's hunting. I enjoy, or used to enjoy, an odd day's hunting. It's a means to an end. Enjoy, or used to enjoy, an odd day's hunting.
An odd deer's hunting, I think he said. God, that was hard to understand. Something about deer hunting.
It's a means to an end. There isn't no longer within the UK a natural quarry. There isn't no longer within the UK a natural quarry. There isn't a natural enemy to a fox.
So
what do we do with it? Do we shoot them and perhaps not shoot them cleanly because they'll go to ground and probably die a worse death there? Or do
That was again, that was weirdly worded. It sounded to me like he conceded that they don't shoot the fox cleanly, but I don't think he meant that.
So
what do we do with it? Do we shoot them and perhaps?
So, I mean, for one, well,
it's not shoot them.
Not that big.
So
what do we do with it? Do we shoot them and perhaps not shoot them cleanly because they'll go to ground and probably die a worse death there?
So he's saying, oh, so he's going to say, no, it's more humane that we let hounds kill the fox. That's what he's going to say? Is that really? Is that the hill you're going to succumb on?
Or do we use the hounds to split the foxes up and then probably shoot them?
To split them up and then shoot them? Are you conceding that they're split apart and still conscious? Ooh, this is see what I mean about the Jack and Tash debate with the farmer? It's like you come across really badly. It's almost like they're handpicked by the animal people. Wow. Wow. Okie doke. That was a choice. That was a choice.
There's nothing wrong in people enjoying a day in the countryside. What do I object?
There's nothing wrong with people enjoying a deer in the countryside. Yeah, see, when I think about enjoying a deer, if that was me, it'd be like, oh, look, it's a deer. Wow, look how beautiful they are. Look at how I don't have a gun in my hands aimed at this beautiful animal, because I don't. Instead, at most, I have my phone out looking at the deer. Oh, people will love this. Look at this. Get a photo of the deer. Beautiful. That's enjoying a deer. I don't know why you can't do that to enjoy a deer, which, by the way, is another weird way of saying things. This guy's weird. He's weird. He might mean something else about enjoy, for all I know. What does he mean?
Object to. There's nothing wrong in people enjoying a day in the countryside. What do I object to is...
Before we hear what you object to, I now hear something different when you say, there's nothing wrong with someone enjoying a deer out in the countryside. Have you, sir, enjoyed a deer out in the countryside? If this was the internet days, I'd say, check this guy's browser history.
Nothing wrong in people enjoying a day in the countryside. What do I object to is the people who come into my land telling me what I can or can't do in my own farmyard and on my own land.
Isn't that a fair point?
Not at all. This man is talking rubbish.
Yeah, so he's saying, don't you dare. Let's say this guy was married. And he's beating his wife. Don't you dare come onto my farm where I'm beating my wife and tell me what I can do on my land. Insert cartoonish looking intimidation face. Take it away.
Again,
my own land.
Isn't that a fair point?
Not at all. This
Look
man
at
is
it.
One farmyard.
Hang on. Let me change the playback speed to very slow and let's watch. Hang on. In fact, let's hear that whole answer on low speed. I would like to hear it. Ooh, that goes way back.
Believe that everyone should do what they want to do. I enjoy I used to enjoy a day's hunting. It's a means to an end. There is no longer within the UK a natural quarry.
Sorry, proceed. Go ahead. Why are you taking so long?
There isn't a natural enemy to a fox.
Please proceed.
So what
do we do with it? Do we shoot them and perhaps not shoot them cleanly because they'll go to the ground and probably die a worse death there?
Complete your thoughts, sir.
Or do we use the hounds to split the foxes up and then probably shoot them? There's nothing wrong in people enjoying a day in the countryside. What do I object to is the people who come into my land telling me what I can or can't do in my own farmyard my own land.
Here's where
Another fair point.
This man is.
Sorry, guys. I had to do it. My hands were tied. I had to do it. I feel like that was the proper way to listen to that guy.
Is talking rubbish again. For starters, foxes are self-regulating. Have you a problem with foxes on your land?
I do.
I
What you said
do.
earlier.
He's still in intimidation mode, by the way, guys. He's really getting to that animal activist there. He's scary.
Have you a problem with foxes on your land?
I do.
That wasn't what you said earlier.
I do have a problem.
You know what's kind of funny that I've noticed, and I think y'all will agree, and y'all probably have experienced it too, that this kind of guy right here, they adopt this intimidation mode. They snap into it. They're in intimidation mode. Doesn't work. They try to stay in it. Doesn't work again. They try to stay in it. And then it all kind of falls apart. Let's see how it goes.
You've seen the damage a fox will do to young lambs if the lamb doesn't get up straight away? Of course, you would know because you've been there. And it's blowing a howling gale, and the bloody fox is hungry as well as everything else. And it comes out and will take a lamb.
I have been there, Bill. I've seen foxes go through a whole flock of
He's really rattled. He's rattled them.
sheep and lambs.
That's right. And you've seen the mess they make.
They don't make
Right. If I can move on to another area, Mr.
We're going to have to do it again. Sorry, guys.
Right. And you've seen the mess they make.
Just want to see that. Want to see that face again?
My.
Right. If I can move on to another area, Mr. Rattigan was.
Did I get it? Did I get it right?
So.
Didn't get that right. I didn't get that right. Oh, well. Playback speed. Back to normal.
Debate coming into schools. We saw a man using shock tactics with very young children in a classroom. Do you really think that's the right forum?
Ooh,
for
shock
this sort of-
tactics with the children. No. We can't do that. No.
Propaganda.
Up to a point, we wouldn't deliberately really shock a young child. There is a limit. But you have to realise these children are subject to a barrage of misinformation and disinformation constantly through the television.
You're saying young children are influenced by what and how exactly?
Everything from children's ward on television to all the medical research breakthroughs which are coming to us every second day, which have nothing at all behind them.
And are you denying those breakthroughs?
Of course. Of course, we have got an out-of-control, medically induced plague of ill health in this country.
Well, I would have brought up different things about what the kids are subjected to. I don't think the kids are paying much attention to the medical breakthroughs. Bit of a fail on that answer. It's more like the cartoons where there's a hunter, it's more like how they see the commercial with their cereal and the dancing and the shit, and it's all dairy, and then it's the cartoon dairy cows who are smiling, and it's more shit like that. But
cancer is heart disease, diabetes, epilepsy, arthritis. We've got 20,000 diseases and rising. Where are they coming from? Where are all the wrecked kidneys coming from? Where are all the wrecked livers coming from? They're coming from the deluge of petrochemicals, pesticides, herbicides, solvents, prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, which are coming from the vivisection laboratories.
Mike Riddlesford,
That's where they're coming
Mr.
from.
Crystal. Mike Riddlesford, you've got to answer that.
The medical research charities are nothing whatsoever to do with the pharmaceutical industry. The medical research charities are
Totally
given money donated by the public, people like us, who desperately want to see treatments, prevention, or possibly cures for the diseases that we can't treat at the moment. Now, to view all of that as some sort of grand conspiracy theory is really a little ill. Unfortunately, at present, some small use of research has to make use of animals. 97% of what we do, however, doesn't use any
So
animals
what do you
at all.
feel about these school debates on this subject?
Well, we have an extremely well-organized animal rights movement in this country. The three biggest animal rights groups, of which we have a representative one here, and you saw another representative from the same group in the school, spend £3 million a year in the UK.
As opposed to how much spent by the animal exploitation industries to sell ads to those kids. Yes, kids sold propaganda. You know, it's another thing. Like, I worked in a grocery store one time. I remember them talking about how we put the stuff that's marketed to kids low on the ground, so the kids will see it and they'll be, "Mom, mom, 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 please, I want that, 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 I want that." Yeah, that's what they do.
On putting out propaganda into schools. Now, if that money was actually put into charities like, for instance, the Fund for the Replacement of Animals in Medical Experiments, which is attempting to find replacement for some uses of animals. So if that money was channeled into positive uses of ways of trying to prevent animals being used, then we could actually probably see something going forward. But just
Wait, so you're advocating for that? I don't think so. If you were, you'd be sitting on that side of the room. You're sitting on this side of the room. I think you're on the wrong side. They put this guy on the wrong side of the room.
Put propaganda into schools, confuses school children, and stops the...
Wait. Now, are you talking about the meat industry, the dairy industry again? Or are you talking about the animal advocates? Who have, like, what, like 5 members doing that? He's acting like this is a big issue. I think it's the dairy. Like, I can only speak. Okay, I can't speak for the UK. This is all like UK-based history. That's why a lot of this is new to me. Not saying I'm an expert on American things either, but a lot of this stuff, I haven't seen it because it's the UK. But I can say that there's a long history in America of the dairy industry worming their way into the schools and making sure that those kids, many who are lactose intolerant, get a carton of milk with their lunch every day. It was like mandatory that they get a carton of milk. That's why this young girl took on her own school district and got like sued or some shit. I can't remember the specifics. It was a few years ago. Her fucking school said she can't even advocate for plant-based milks at her school or some shit. So it became like a big court case or some shit. I don't remember, guys. Don't look to me for information. We're just watching the information, and I'm providing uninformed commentary on it. That's my job, uninformed commentary.
Very children who might be our scientists tomorrow, who wouldn't want to use animals, coming in to medical science and helping us with our work.
Could I?
So wait. So if you're saying, wait, so what's the problem with teaching kids that maybe we shouldn't harm animals? Because then they'll go into the medical field and not still want to harm animals. Again, it's the suit doesn't make people think, even though it looks like they can think. If you put on that suit, it looks like that guy tied his own tie. He probably knows what he's talking about.
Move on to a related subject, the effectiveness of this whole campaign. We've established that, in fact, it is becoming more violent. Eric Staples, do you think that people are...
I guess that's the only thing that the media cared about, because that seems to be everything that we talked about in all these old videos has been this same debate.
giving up on Parliament, on police, on the establishment doing anything about it. And that's why they're going...
Which, I mean, isn't a great commentary on the media. So apparently it's not an issue until this comes up.
To these more violent means.
No, I mean, 7 days a week, every month of the year, throughout the year, there are animal welfare organisations, animal rights organisations campaigning on your high streets, writing letters, taking part in demonstrations, pickets. The unfortunate thing is, the only time we get to go on telly is when something gets burnt down, when a bomb goes off.
So you
when
think violence damages your cause?
I can't condone it.
Well, do you think Bill Crystal stopped your ferry trade? Was it the violent action?
Hang on. He actually turned the spotlight back on the media. He was saying the only time we ever get on here is when you guys want to talk about some violence that may or may not have come from the animal rights movement. And violence, again, you guys call it violence, and you're literally talking about inanimate objects. Inanimate objects.
Yes, it was. It had to have been a commercial decision by the ferry companies. If a ship leaves Humberside with stock on board, they get a bomb scare. They have to stop and search the ship. That then delays the time that the animals are in transit, which is already a fairly lengthy crossing. Not the best one of our.
Sorry, I've kept poor attention on the chat. I apologize, guys. I see you there, David. I see you. You are seen, heard, and appreciated. Bretta, you are seen, heard, and appreciated. Wayne Shung did what? What did Wayne do? What did Wayne do? Oh, what did you do now, Wayne? Wayne, I take my eyes off you for 2 seconds.
Our choice, I might add, but it's still a lengthy crossing. And the ship is then anchored at sea for several hours while a full search of the ship is made, and it has to be made if a threat. And then again at the other end. Now, these animals, the day that this happened, did have hair, they had food, they had water, they had everything. They took nothing. And it all had to be dumped at sea. And the harvest we've had this year, that was a terrible shame. But we do that. We produce the best animals. There is a market for those animals because it is wanted on the other side. I agree that we have to transport animals properly, that they have to be looked after properly. But you're the wrong side of the channel, guys.
They're not being transported properly at the moment, and that's
They are.
the problem.
They are, to the best of our ability.
Oh man. Journalist lady did some journalism and editorializing. For our side, though.
We cannot be held responsible for the other side. The problem is that the people in Italy want the little lambs, the little 11-kilo lambs, because they're nice and succulent. So do they want them in southern Spain. They're the people who won't reduce the transport time.
Well, let's see. We're all looking after animals in our own ways, or we profess to be here. So if there was a Bill of Rights for animals, I'm sure we'd have different things in it.
If there were a Bill of Rights for animals, she just say that. She just say that. She just said that. Sorry.
What about you, Mr. Rattingham?
Yeah.
If we were to come to a Bill of Rights, what would you actually put in it?
My own personal Bill of Rights? Oh, well, there wouldn't be any animal abuse at all.
What would be the animals' rights as far as you are concerned?
Same as humans.
Eric Staples.
It'd be exactly the same. There'd be no animal abuse at all. Animals will be able to regulate themselves, breed at their own stages. Nobody would need to eat them, wear them, hunt them, exploit them.
You don't have
in
to
the natural state, in the wild, it's red in tooth and claw. Everybody's killing everybody else.
With the natural state of things? Man.
Mr. Wrigglesford.
We need to live with animals in a natural way. So
we need to live with animals in a natural way.
For instance, I would not put a...
That's a name right there. Mike Wrigglesford.
Cockroach above. So, for instance, I would not put a cockroach above the life of a rat. I would not put a rat above the life of a dog. And I would not put a dog above the life of a...
Do you need to put any animal above the life of another? Just out of curiosity, do you need to do that? Or could you even hold your speciesist beliefs and still not harm them?
They would say that
and I would
cutting
not-
animals up for experiment wasn't a natural way.
I would not
Just
put
for him.
a primate above the life of a human. So long as it's done with a proper welfare and humanitarian ways, and you minimize all the distress, then some limited controlled use of animals while we are investigating terrible diseases is going to have to go on. I am against all animal abuse for the sake
No, you're not.
of animal abuse.
Bill Crystal, what right?
No, you're not. You're just ignorant. Why the fuck are you there, by the way? It's almost like he doesn't know anything about the subject.
rights would you give animals in your ideal world?
You have respect for those creatures.
You have to respect for those creatures.
Because they are living the life that they are used to.
Because they are living the life that they're used to.
Sort of an
Not
excuse
in
for
the
their
Garden of
life.
Eden, it wasn't, was it?
Eric Staples, good.
They are used to. Those creatures.
Rights would you give animals in your ideal world?
You have respect for those creatures because they're living the life that they're used to.
That's some sort of excuse
Not
for their life.
it wasn't, was it?
Eric said.
I just feel like we just got a window into the way that he's used to experiencing the world.
Good.
That's not an excuse. I mean, but before factory farming came along, before man took in herds of animals to keep for food and milk, their life was somewhat different. would
If
you not
man
say?
hadn't brought animals in for food and milk, you wouldn't wear the clothes you have now. If there was no animals, what would you wear if there wasn't nylon from the petrochemical industry? What would you use for clothes? What would you use to keep warm? How would you generate heat?
Well, that's exactly what I'm
How
doing
would you
now.
grow cotton? You can't grow cotton in the UK.
The moment the farmer learns the word cotton.
You get it from abroad. We have it.
Ah!
We
Where'd
don't
you
take-
get your cotton? You get your cotton.
You get it from abroad. We have it.
Ah! How would you grow
No,
cotton? You can't grow cotton in the UK.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. My hands are tied. What can I do?
You get it from abroad. We have it. We don't
You
take-
get your cotton. You get your cotton from South America. In South America, they don't have. Not only do they not have animal rights, they don't have human rights either.
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. We have to stop it there. That's all for this edition of Close Up North, but we'll be back again next week. From all of us here, a very good night to you.
Rude. Right when I was doing my interpretive dance. All right. Well, that was a thing that happened as well. That was a thing. That happened. Guys, I can't do this long outro. I gots to go. I gots to go. Check on me in an hour or so. And maybe I'll do a well, I'm gonna try to play Mirror's Edge parkour game. All right. I'm gonna try. David, nice to see you. Sabby, nice to see you. Eston, nice to see you. Who's here? Who's left? Who's left? Tess and Honest Doubter, huge thank you for your donations. Felix, Sabby, your donations in the past. Brian, your donations in the past. That's right. Only on this channel, guys. Only on this channel can you get a distorted view of history. And yeah, cool. Bretta, nice to see you. All right, y'all, take care. See you later.